Hey everyone, this is the Untitled.jpg podcast where we talk about art, movies, and anything that comes to mind. So I don't know if you haven't noticed, but I'm kind of switching it up to every 2 weeks now, just because everything's getting a little hectic right now with work stuff. But I still definitely want to do this. It's just going to be a little bit more delayed. I might eventually go back to it every week. We'll see how just scheduling wise goes with everybody who I want to have on. But for this week, we're going to have Dillon O'Keefe. I met him by chance in a graphic novel class at FIT, where I first got to see his work through like illustration and storytelling. I took that class as just sorry. I took that class as just like an elective and just to fill up my schedule for my last semester for requirements, but ended up being a really awesome class and I loved it. I loved the people that were there. Got to hang out with my boy Nico and, meet people like Dillon. He's worked with the likes of Adobe, Cartuna, Essentia, and much more. I want to dive deep and figure out like how he comes up with these concepts and how he goes about getting his work out there. So, without further ado, let's get started. All right, guys. My bad. I forgot to give you his Instagram and website. So you're going to find him on his website at his first and last name, Dillon O'Keefe, DILLONOKEEFE.com. And his Instagram is the same thing, just a period in between. So it's just Dillon.O'Keefe. And just follow this guy. You're going to love his animations. I know I showed some of his work on the video portion of this podcast. But he's always posting new stuff. Definitely check him out and show him your support. It would really mean a lot. All right, guys. Now enjoy the show. All right, guys. So we have my boy Dillon O'Keefe. Is that how you say your last name? O'Keefe?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. So I got that
O'Keefe.
right. So we met back in a graphic novel. Like I was in my senior
Yeah.
year. Were you a freshman at the time?
I don't think I was a freshman. I think I might have been a sophomore or junior, but I was
It was
yeah,
20.
it was a
Yeah,
graphic novel class.
yeah, 2018, I think it was. Yeah, because that's when I graduated. So I think that
Right.
was that
Yeah,
fall?
that sounds about right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was fall. It was a pretty fun class. I mean,
Dude, yeah.
the teacher
I
was pretty dope.
yeah, she knew
I
what she
still
was
follow
talking
her.
about.
Her stuff is good.
I forgot her name. What's her name? I feel like crap for not knowing.
Kurzweil. I don't know. Shout out.
Right. Yeah,
Shout out
yeah.
Kurzweil.
Give me the IG so I could put it under here because I did forget her name unfortunately, but I remember she was super awesome. Um, and I took that class not expecting anything. I got it recommended to me by Craig because he took it, I think, freshman year, and he loved the professor. So I was like, why not? I needed extra,
Yeah.
an
I
elective
think I
to for
took
the
it because it
class.
was I think it was in English also.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
counted as an English.
yeah. I
And
think that's what I needed.
I was like, I definitely would rather be doing graphic novels than
For sure,
typing
man.
essays.
Oh man, I hated English. I remember I took
Any
AP
general
English.
education,
Yeah.
AP, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I took that class and I submitted my AP scores to FIT and they immediately put me in remedial grammar. The class was called
yeah.
survival grammar. So I wish I never
I got
submitted.
yeah, right. I mean, I don't even know if it was based. I think my SAT scores put me in a remedial English, but it was dope because I met some dope people. A and B, it was a movie class. The guy was like, "Yeah, you can
Oh
bring snacks."
really?
So I like showed up with like
Damn.
pretzels. It was great.
Dude,
It was sort of lit, and then it was like write a 1 page paper on Stephen King's Misery. Like
I wish I had that class, man. Survival grammar, it was literally, I felt like I was back in kindergarten or something, first learning
yeah,
grammar. And it was like some old lady. It was really odd, but thankfully it was only that one semester. Then I was pretty solid. But
yeah, facts.
yeah, with the graphic novel class, I wasn't expecting to draw. I thought we were just gonna, do our just read the books, write like papers or whatever. But she let us do a lot of cool shit. And that's why I got interested in your work, man, because you were doing some wacky stuff that I was like, dude, I want to know what's in this guy's mind because I wouldn't know like the stuff that you made, I would have never thought of. And like your art style is super interesting. So I wanted to, I want you to let me know how you started out in art and what like brought you into that kind of style of art.
Yeah. Um, I mean, so like growing up, I've always been like cartoons. I've always been animation driven. Like I love watching it, and it's just something that sort of always has been like, oh, it's so cool. Like I wish I knew how they did that. I wish I could do that at some point. And then, I went to high school. I didn't go to a high school for art or anything. It was just like your run of the
Yeah.
mill
Yeah, just your
suburban
public high
school.
school, no
Yeah,
art class
rated
really.
rated something and whatever. Yeah, there was a AP art class, but it was like
Oh,
the
you
same
lucked out.
teacher from
Okay.
freshman to AP. So I did that. I took that class, and it was cool, and it sort of got me like, oh, I could start doing art as a career. Like this is, you know, I mean, I knew I could, but I didn't really know like where or what direction to go.
Right.
So I did that, and I did AP 2 years in a row because my teacher bumped me up. There were like a select few of kids every year that she would be like the chosen, and it would be
The
like, I'm going to
chosen
bump you
ones,
up to
yeah.
make the other kids feel bad or whatever. I don't know. However, teachers work. Um, so I did. I took AP twice, and I submitted an AP portfolio 2 times. And the first time it was like paintings and stuff. Um, and it was like based on like dissection, like anatomy stuff, very similar. I took a lot of inspiration from Nichos, who's like this graffiti
Okay.
guy. I don't know if you know him. He's like
I'll
really
have to
does
look
really
into them,
really
yeah.
cool stuff. Um, so I did that, and then the second year I did a lot of graphic. I bought a Wacom. So I was,
Yeah.
which is apparently how you pronounce it, Wacom, not Wacom,
I always
not
say
whatever. I
Wacom.
don't.
I That's the hill I
I know
die
I
on.
did too, bro.
Dude,
I
just die
recently I
die on
got
that
I
hill.
yeah, exactly. Well, I recently won a contest, and I got to do this cool opportunity. I'll get into that, but
Right, right. That's the Adobe one,
they
right?
told me, um, no, no, no,
Or
no. This one was with Wacom.
oh, it's a separate one. Okay. So yeah, we'll get into that later.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
so tell me
yeah.
about more your high
So
school career and stuff.
yeah, yeah. So I'm in high school, and then my second year doing it, I'm a senior now. I'm looking at schools, and I'm doing strictly digital. And I did this series, and it was like a sad birthday party, and it was like pretty depressing, but it was sort of, I was like, oh, that's funny. So it was like a kid,
Right.
and it was
So yeah, you have that on
like
your website.
cigarettes in his cake. Yeah, I have pretty much everything I've ever done on my website. It's just like chronologically
Yeah, I was like
tabbed
looking at
out.
that. It's pretty cool, man. Like it's all a bunch of different series that I do recommend everybody to check out because it's a trip, man. So
Yeah, facts.
so which
Dillon
one was the
O'Keefe dot
first one you
com.
did? Yeah, which one was the one you first did?
The first one was a dissection one, and then the next one was sad birthday party,
Okay,
and
yeah.
that was like a different. So like the way AP worked is you could go like two routes. You could do like painting and drawing, or you could do like digital. And they were
Okay.
just like, digital is whatever, you could do whatever, because it was like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago, nobody had an iPad and Procreate like everybody does
Right.
now.
I mean, that's pretty cool though that
So
you
yeah,
for your high school to start with with a Wacom. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Well,
yeah.
so originally the one I had was it was called a bamboo tablet, and the
Yeah, I
way it
had one of
works
those.
is you draw here, but you're looking at the
Yeah, yeah.
screen.
That's how
So
I
you're
started
not
out too.
really, yeah, you're not
Yeah.
really drawing. Um, I should have taken it back even more, because I started first drawing with a mouse in MS Paint on the computer and stuff,
No
and
way.
they were like such fucking. I still have some of them on like hard drives and flash drives and stuff. They're like
Dude.
weird, pixely, poorly shaded, but they're like funny. And I don't
Oh
know.
man, I
People
miss MS
still,
Paint,
people still
man.
are like, yeah, people still are like, yo, do you still draw in MS Paint? And I was like, I have Photoshop. Like, I mean, like, maybe ironically, I did when I went to school. The computers had MS Paint. Now I'm on a Mac, but the computers at school had MS Paint, and I would often, if I was in like awful class, I would just be like MS Paint and doing like pixel art or something.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I used to use MS Paint too. I remember at one point I was because I found some guy on YouTube when I was super young. This guy on YouTube would use MS Paint to do like legit cars, like realism, like cars and stuff, and he would
Yeah, you
show
could
how
do
he did
crazy
it.
shit.
Yeah, with like curves and everything, like the curve tool, whatever. And I got into that and started doing that, man. And yeah, it's so nostalgic to like go back to MS Paint. I mean, I think it's gone now, right? They don't even make it anymore.
I mean, yeah, they sort of phased it out. I think it's still, or you could download older versions. I know they phased out Internet Explorer, and now it's Internet. I don't know, something with an
Something
E
like just
or
generic or
something not
whatever.
with an E. It's like they
Yeah.
just like rebranded it. So I think they might have done that with Paint. Last time I saw somebody using Paint, it was like completely resurfaced and like every toolbar was different and everything. I was like, oh. But like I don't know, the thing I love the like those that 8-bit toolbar, like the
Yeah,
mouse
exactly.
and the hand clicking and
Yeah,
stuff. I don't know.
yeah.
I was thinking for a while I wanted to get those like tattooed on my fingers. I don't know.
Yo.
And then I'd be stuck with MS Paint. It's like not
Listen,
really a joke
but it's
then.
like a test of our time, man. That's how we grew up, you know? Like
Yeah. Plus the pointer finger on my pointer finger, everything I would be like
so
double
wait, where
clicking.
would you put it? Like on here or what were you thinking?
Yeah, I guess it would be like on the upper on the upper
That's
part. I
funny.
honestly don't know. Hand tattoos are a big jump because then it's like, you know, old
That's not
people
something.
look at you differently in the
Yeah, and
street
that's not
and
something you
shit.
can hide, you know. At least with like a
Yeah,
sleeve,
yeah,
you
yeah.
could wear a long sleeve or
Yeah.
whatever,
Unless you got gloves or something like face tat, same thing.
dude. But
Um,
I'm all for it. I
but
think you
anyway,
should do
yeah,
it.
yeah. I gotta think about it before I jump into it. But yeah,
I
I'm
feel
not
you, dude.
opposed.
But
So yeah, in
so
high school,
yeah,
I was doing that. I was just like doing my art, focusing on that, applying to schools. I got into FIT. It wasn't necessarily my top choice, but it was in-state tuition, so I was like all for that, and I like didn't really want a lot of debt coming out of school,
right.
so I sort of looked at my options as that. The other schools I was thinking about were MICA or SVA, both awesome, incredible schools. And I have friends in both, but like I don't know, a lot of debt that I just would have been like
Yeah.
leaving with.
Honestly, man, I feel like FIT is the better choice because they still have a great educational system on foundations and everything,
Yeah,
and they have great professors. And I feel like it's all
yeah.
going to be the same depending wherever you
I'm well,
go.
yeah. I mean, especially proven to that point is look at right now. Look at the situation we're in right now.
Yeah.
You're in the same. We're in the same boat as the SVA kids, as the Parson kids. You know what I mean? Like everyone's scrambling.
Yeah,
Like it
and then
didn't. It doesn't matter
I know that I had
necessarily.
some FIT teachers that were also teaching at Pratt at SVA. So it's
Yeah,
like we have the same
yeah, yeah, yeah.
professors too, you know. So
Yeah, I thought the same thing too. It's just sort of, you're paying. It's like brand shit. You're waiting in
pretty
line
much,
at
yeah.
6 a.m. for the brand. You're paying for it. But so yeah, I did that. All my stuff. I've always been very cartoon drawing. Like I can draw realistic, and I think I draw realistic pretty well. And life drawing and stuff, and
Yeah.
having that ability isn't necessarily easy. Um, but it's a lot of also just like practice based. Everything with drawing is practice based. People often ask me that, and they're like, I'm sure you get asked this too, and they're
Yeah.
like, how can you draw that? I can't even draw a straight line. I'm like,
It's
yo,
all
what?
yeah,
Like,
it's
I could barely draw a straight line. That's what like rulers are for. Like, I don't, you know what I
yeah.
mean? You figure out ways to do it. You know what I mean? I don't know what a helicopter necessarily looks like off the top of my head. You look up some reference, you get the right idea, and then you like proceed with your direction of it. Like, you know what I mean? That
Yeah,
a lot of
exactly.
people
They just think that you could
don't know
just
where to start.
they think that you have like a whole database in your head and just draw it out on the spot. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
just
yeah.
doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Unless
I mean, there are some things I could draw, like I could draw a skull immediately. I could draw. I mean, cartoon stuff a lot easier to draw because you lend yourself to
Yeah, you
disproportion
just
and
have to
things of that
you just have to
exaggeration.
understand the anatomy and all that, but with at least
Yeah, you got to
cartoons you could
understand it to be
stylize.
able to warp it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Stylize it. Yeah. Um. So yeah, and it was weird because like in high school too, my art teacher was very much, she like blatantly picked favorites, and
Oh man.
it was just like she didn't like cartoons. She didn't like
So she
illustration.
was a fan.
She didn't like, she wasn't really a fan. I like really had to push it to like get my way and be like, this is what I want to do. And
Yeah.
it would be like, I remember she'd be like, yeah, well, in the real world, I don't know if you're going to be able to get jobs like this. It's going to be like realistic watercolors that are going to be getting the jobs. And I was like, what is illustration? What is animation? Like both of those fields need this. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I'll be chilling. Um, so yeah, I mean, we didn't really see eye to eye on everything, and she was all right. It wasn't like the worst experience. But so then I did a Cooper Union summer program. I think my junior year of high school before I went senior year to FIT. So it was at Cooper Union, and it was just like a summer program, and it was pretty cool. But I
Was
like, again,
was
it
it
was just
free?
like sort of pretentious. Yeah, it was free. It was when it was
Oh,
still
that's
free.
awesome.
It was literally that year that it changed, or
Yeah.
like that.
So you
I
must
think the
have.
summer program was like a year after they changed the college
Okay,
like
cuz yeah,
tuition.
cuz I remember when I was applying in 2014, that's when they literally changed it to like, oh, we're only paying half your tuition. And I didn't even
Yeah.
bother with the application because I think half the tuition was already like 20 grand for per semester, something crazy like that.
Yeah, same thing. Everyone had always been like Cooper Union, the free art school, and I was like, this is
Yeah.
awesome. And I applied for the summer program there, and it was maybe the summer program was always free. Honestly, I don't know. I know I didn't pay for it. So but then when I was gonna apply for school, I was like, oh, it's not
Yeah.
cheap. Like even half off, it's not. Um, but whatever. It was cool, and it was like interesting. It was just interesting to see other artists and like hang out with people that I didn't grow up with. And I was in the city, so I loved it because I didn't grow up in the city. I grew up in like Westchester, Croton on Hudson, New York.
Okay.
It's like
So
dope.
for that,
There's nature everywhere and stuff.
yeah, I'm in Long Island, so it's like kind of the same thing, but
Yeah.
it's just suburbs. Um, so how'd you get into that program? Did you have to apply like a college kind of
Yeah,
application
it
or
was like a
what?
pre-college. It was actually in person,
Oh,
which even the idea of now sounds weird, but yeah, it was like a bunch of kids huddled in the glass lobby, and then a bunch of like, I guess, professors at the table, and it was just like sketchbook. You went up with your sketchbook, and they were like, "Uh huh, yeah, okay, yeah, this isn't that bad. This isn't, whatever." And it was like, "Oh, you should really work on this." Da, da, da. And then they didn't say anything. They weren't like, "This is good. This is bad." They were just like, "All right, next." And then I think I just got an email, and it was like I got in, and I was like, nice.
so
Um,
so then what would you work on in that summer program? What did they have you do?
it was weird. It was like 3D paper mache stuff and like
Oh,
life
really?
drawing. It was sort of, yeah. It wasn't my first life drawing class. I had taken life drawing classes in high school. I actually took a train up to this town called Garrison, and there's a place called the Garrison Art Center, and I did drawing classes and painting classes there, and it was naked people, and they were like a bunch of 80-year-olds and me, and I was like, I don't even know, 14, 14 to 18, somewhere in there, and they would always be like, "Oh, young man, I see you looking at her," and I would be like, "Yeah, like
Yo.
that. That's cool." Um, sometimes it was fruit and stuff. Sometimes I would luck out, but yeah. So, and then we did the same thing in this Cooper program. It was like some of the teachers were cool because they were like, "I want to push your preconceived notions of art," and then some of them were very much like, like snobby and sort of like um,
It's literally this.
seemed like they were
Yeah,
hard to please no matter what. But
it's like those
it
are
was
like the
cool and it was an
two
experience.
Yeah, those are like the two personalities in art. It's either you're a pretentious asshole
Yeah,
or you're like the most supportive person. You want to bring everybody in and help out.
right. Willing to give everything out. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So you got to
Um,
experience both of that. That's awesome.
yeah, but so it was cool, and then that, and then I went to, and then I whatever went back to high school. That was my senior year, and then I went to college, and I applied, and I got an FIT. You had to get in grade first. I'm pretty sure, so I did that, and then I got in. Not that my grades were great, and then I got in art afterwards, and I joined the illustration major, and it was cool. It was, you know, I like illustration, and I sort of like had wanted right out of high school, like I want to go into animation. I want to be doing animation. I want to animate. And almost every school I looked at, like SVA and MICA, had animation programs. Um, and the thing about FIT was that it had a 2 and 2. So it
Yeah, you
would
had to
be
do
you would
the
get your
associates
yeah.
first.
I got my associates in illustration, and then I got my BFA in animation and computer media, interactive media. I don't know. It's like a long ass title when it should
Yeah.
really just be animation. But again, since it did come with that title, I got a lot of other stuff with it. But I'm in illustration now. Sorry. So my first 2 years living in the city, on campus, or my first year at least on campus, and then I'm like, I like FIT for what it was. It wasn't a bad experience. It's cool, like that entire street, and like skating there, and I met a lot of dope people just in general in my gen eds, in my illustration
Yeah,
classes.
yeah. A lot of
Um,
the school is just people. Yeah, they're not really bad people. There, everybody's like pretty like good to
yeah,
hang out with. Nobody's an asshole or anything.
yeah. For the most part, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, I met, and illustration was cool. I had a lot of cool teachers. Um, some of them, one or two of them, again, like art, were just like hard to please and sort of snobby. But even them, I learned stuff from them. Like, I don't want to say invaluable knowledge, like it was like fucking bestowed upon me,
yeah, yeah.
whatever. But it's like, one or two things that you remember. You're like, whatever, highlighting a nose in a painting, and you're like, oh, what was that trick? Oh, right. How did I remember that? Oh, or like whatever, something like that.
Yeah, like you
Not
pick stuff up
necessarily
from what
that,
you
but
remembered.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, not necessarily the entirety of the class, or like the color wheels they make you paint every year
I,
for
I
whatever
I
reason.
still
But
don't remember any of that. Like I know like which colors are opposites of others, but that's about it. That's all I need to know.
yeah,
Nothing
yeah. I mean, and then the
crazy.
names are just confusing, like whatever, tertiary. It sounds like a
Analogous.
bush.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
all that stuff.
um, yeah. Anyway, color theory. What a trip. And I took a class on that, like a science class on that, which is pretty cool, and about like how our eyes and cones
Yeah, I thought
perceive
about taking that
color. And
class. So that was that science. So it was that science course.
yeah,
Yeah.
counted
So,
as a science class. Yeah.
so what? So what'd you do in that class? Was it just
Well, it was
lectures?
two parts. It was like, it was like a lecture, and it was a lab. And the lecture was like this guy that like looks like a Ted Danson stunt double. And he was like not boring, but he wasn't entertaining. And it was just like a long night class. And it was like
Oh, that
him
sucks.
explaining the cones in your eyes. And so like some of it was cool, and it's like really, really weird to think that light is bouncing off an object to show that it's yellow, and your eyes are perceiving. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's also like your eyes are upside down, and then it flips it to your brain, like one of those like kid things that you look in. It's trippy. But
I
so
I
that
wish
stuff
I
was
understood.
cool. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like I could go into that, but I don't really need to. The other
Nah,
people
nah.
probably know that better than me, and they'd be like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck is this guy talking about?" The second half of the class, it was like a lab portion, and it was run by this like, I'm blanking on his name, but it was like this Indian lab tech, and he was like so cool, and he was like, it was like everything was sort of a joke to him. Like if someone came up and it was wrong, he would like scream at them, be like, "What are you doing?" And he'd be like, "No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that
You
makes
can go home."
at least that makes the
Yeah,
class fun, you know?
yeah. And the best part was every time he was like, "Yeah, you guys, what time is it? 7:30. I'll look the other way if you guys want to leave now. And we'd be like, okay, like dope.
That's
Like
awesome.
I was
Yeah.
prepared to stay here, but whatever. So yeah, that was one class. And then anyway, the illustration ones are cool. A lot of life drawing, like
Yeah.
6 hours, 6 hours a day,
I think it was
at
like the
least
first
3 days a
two years.
week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every like all 4 semesters of the associates, it's you're drawing from life. Like I think you have like two
Yeah,
classes per semester or something at least.
at least. And I took like an extra anatomy course my first year, and then I took a life drawing course every semester because I was like, what? It's free. Why not? You got to
Yeah.
usually pay for those. Um, and just to explain that to anyone who hasn't had the opportunity to life draw, you're sitting on a wooden bench or a metal stool, hunched over at a wooden easel
Yeah.
with faulty plastic knobs that shakes or could drop at any time.
Yep.
And then on top of that is a giant clipboard with like this bent ass piece of paper pad,
With a
whatever
rubber.
paper they needed.
With the
Yeah,
rubber
yeah,
to hold
yeah.
it in place.
The rubber band, hold it on, and then your fair share of charcoal smudges and squishy eraser things and whatever. And then you sit there, and sometimes you luck out and it's like, today we're doing 25-minute drawings, and the girl poses or it's a guy or it's a girl, whatever, I don't know. Some people are like, I came back from school and some of my friends were like, bro, you got to see naked chicks and draw them. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
these women are like 75.
Yep.
There's nothing.
Yep.
I mean, once or twice you get like a semi okay looking guy or girl, and you're like, I
Yeah,
guess.
like they're
But
in their
for the
30s
most
or
part,
something, they're not
yeah.
old yet. So,
And you just want to hope that you're not like at their 180 and they're not like doing a squat pose or something awful. Just
oh
like,
dude, you know what was the worst? When it was like wintertime and they put the heater on right around them,
oh,
and then
yeah, they're like the
you
little
got the woof,
portable
the
heater.
little whiff.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
God, you're
Art
bringing it
school,
back.
right,
That's
guys?
nostalgia. Yeah, yeah.
I
And
never
then there's
sat.
someone crying in the corner.
Ah, dude, yeah. I never sat at the like the horses. I think that's what they call them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I never sat at that because one, there would my ass would hurt within like the first 20 minutes, and it's just
Yeah.
the back. So I would just stand the whole time, and not even sit. It was just better because they say that it's better to have your arm flowing a little better when you're standing, whatever. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I used to
yeah,
sort of just do like a lean against the stool a little bit, not a
yeah.
full sit. It was just like, but yeah, sometimes you come in late, and you're stuck with the horse
Yeah,
front
you're
row.
stuck with
Oof,
the horse, or you're
splash
like
zone.
all the way in the back too. You can't even see. You
Right,
got
right,
like
right.
four kids in front of you.
Like
You have
behind
like
the
this.
skeleton, you're like,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Um, and it's not necessarily easy and it's not necessarily hard. It's just something you get good at over time. So, some people are good at it because they do it a lot. So there was like a fair scale of good to bad people in the illustration classes. But so then, um, this is, I think, the semester after we had that graphic novel class. I am applying to be in the animation program, and I email them and I'm like, hey, I want to get in animation. Like, this has been my plan from the get go. Like, I came in as illustration, did my 2 years there, and I'm finishing up my associates this year. And I want to take animation in the fall, rather. And they were like, okay, did you take the prerequisites? And I was like, what
oh
prerequisites?
man.
Like, it doesn't, where does it say that? They were like, yeah, well, someone was supposed to tell you. And I was like, yes, someone who was supposed to tell me? Like, I
Yeah, that would
tried my
say
best.
they did so bad at telling you like what you needed. Um, Especially when it came to like financial aid or whatever. I would
Oh my
have
God, yeah.
like every year from like the first week, second week never failed. They would never put through like my documents or anything, so I would have like 4K that was due, and I'm like, I
Right,
know I
right.
don't.
And it's
Yeah,
like, that's not even the right number. Yeah.
and then
And the people at Bursar are like working at the DMV, like they hate their fucking life for whatever
yeah,
reason. So they
and
take it out
then
on you. Oh,
at the time, I'm commuting. I'm from coming from Long Island, So there were times
Right.
where like I could I would try and say like, "Yo, can I just email this to you so I don't have to go into the city to literally hand you a paper?" And they're like, "No, we need to get the paper in hand." So I
Right.
would travel into the city. Would take me an hour. I would get there and they're like, "This isn't the paper," or I need some other form of identification that I forgot at home. So it was like a wasted trip. Like I had the
Yeah.
worst experience with
Just
that
frustrating
fucking
every
office.
time. Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely had my fair share of that. And so and this was like the peak of it, right?
Yeah.
When I'm like put all my eggs in this animation basket. I went to school for it and I like huff and puff these 2 years of illustration to get to the animation. And then like I'm right there and it's like they're pulling the rug out from under me. They're like, "Oh, you don't have any of the prerequisites." So now I'm like freaking out. I'm like, "All right, what are the prerequisites I need to take?" It was like a coding class. There was an After Effects basic class
Oh my god.
and like a basic Mac OS system class. It was like, what does the Finder icon do? It was like, oh my God,
Are
like
you
Jesus
kidding me?
Christ, why do I need to take this as a class? Yeah, it was ridiculousness. Um, it was literally half a credit class and it was like an hour long,
Just to
whatever.
take your
I
money.
met,
That's all it was.
yeah, exactly. But she was literally like, the teacher was like, "You're so smart," and I was like, "Because I knew where the fucking Safari button was. Like, give me a break. I knew how to right click in Adobe Illustrator. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't do anything or whatever. Like, it was a basic class. It was like how to make the shape tool in Adobe Illustrator. Like, what the fuck? What?
Oh
It
my
didn't go
god,
any further than
dude.
that. Um, and a lot of classes like that. The coding one was sort of cool. It was a little. I made some all right stuff, but for the most part, again, I'm not a coder.
Yeah.
So, sitting there and searching through these lines of code to find the parentheses that I misplaced to make my website, you know, and like, some code is like marvelous. And the thing about code is when it works well, you don't really know it's there. It's sort of like CGI or something other like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I took like an
the
HTML
flawlessness of it
class.
is, yeah,
Yeah, it was I guess
is
I think that was
difficult. It's really
yeah,
difficult.
that was probably like the similar class that we had to take cuz I remember I had to take an after basics in After Effects too. And it was
Yeah.
cool. Um but yeah, I just knew that wasn't my thing. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, but so that After Effects class again probably taught me like one tool in After Effects,
Yeah.
but it like opened the door, and I was like, because like I'm already proficient in Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator because I had done it throughout high school and the first 2 years of illustration, so like I knew what I was doing with that. But After Effects, I just sort of found and like just sort of started to like realize what I could do with it, and like, oh my god, you could do crazy stuff in After Effects. Any Adobe program you could really do crazy stuff in. But um, so yeah, I took that class, and now I'm like almost got all the prerequisites, and I think they let me slide on maybe one or two, and I'm taking them the semester I have to interview for this position in the animation program, because apparently it's like 20, it's a cap of like 25 kids or whatever, and you got to interview in, show them your portfolio and whatever. So I
Oh
go
my
in and I
gosh.
show them my portfolio, and it's like these one woman is like, this woman named Terry who like runs the program, and she's probably like almost like 70 or something, 70, 80 something. She's pushing it. She's probably going to retire soon. Hopefully she's going to retire soon. Hopefully she's not watching this, but I doubt it. And then the other guy is this guy named Tony, who was like this bald 3D computer
Wait.
wizard.
Yeah. That was my After Effects teacher. He was little, little like big, right? Or am I bugging? Or
No, probably just another bald guy. Maybe you're thinking of John Goodwin or something, or a different guy or something. Oh no,
something
no,
like
maybe Robert Kahn. That's who
I
I had.
I
Kahn,
remember
I don't know.
like I forget his name. I'm bad with names, but
No, this
it was
guy's not fat, and his name was Hamilton Johnson Jr.
okay. I don't think it was him then. It was the guy that I had. He I think he worked with a lot of the old Disney animations, so that's we worked
Mm-hmm.
off of those files a lot. And that guy was just mad enthusiastic about teaching us with After Effects. He made it fun. I that's why I did like it. But damn,
Yeah.
thought it was him.
No,
It
the guy
sounded
that taught
familiar.
my After Effects class was absolute shit. And I had
Oof.
friends in the class and they were like, I hate After Effects. I don't get it. And I'm like, yo, go home, watch a YouTube video on the 10 things you need to know. Like, ding, 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 ding. Hey guys, welcome to today's whatever. Put up with that shit. Watch that 6 minute long video and you'll know the basics. Fuck what that guy's saying in the class. I don't listen to what that guy says there. I'm on the computer and I'm doing the homework. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what's making me remember, oh, this is what this tool does. That's what this tool does. Well, and I still, from that day and whatever, I don't know, 3 years ago to now, I've used After Effects a ton. And I still don't know everything. I'm at like the tip of the iceberg. There's just so much stuff to know, and I could never know all of it. But the good thing is, every time you get to a bridge or like something stopping you, like, oh, how do I fix this problem? Oh, why is this happening? You Google it. 25 people have had that problem. 35 people have answered it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
like
you
YouTube
gotta
University,
sift
man.
through and yeah, anything really, Reddit, anything on the
Yeah.
internet. But yeah, a lot of YouTube. Just because it's like easier. I'm more of a visual learner anyway, but
Yeah, I'm the same way. I can't. It's hard for me to just sit and read, so that's why I always kind of search for
yeah.
videos. Because other than that, I don't think I would learn it that well. I like doze
Yeah, but I
off.
tell people that all the time. I'm like, yo, like Google it. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not being a dick, but like, it's out there. Like, I didn't know all this stuff. I figured it out, and then I just retained it. Like, so then next time I come to that problem, I'm like, how do I? Oh wait, this already happened to me, and I Googled it, and I remembered, what was it? Oh, Command H, and then it fixes it or whatever, something like that. So yeah, I mean, I'm a lot of computer taught, and I don't necessarily think I learned most of what I learned from FIT. I was just introduced to stuff. But then yeah, so then I got into animation. I showed my like trippy, bright, flashy animations to these like two elderly people in this room.
oh
And I
man.
had like this kid who went to my high school made like beats and stuff like that, and music and stuff. So I had him make a instrumental beat, and it was like 808s and bass and shit, whatever. But it's just like, they're like, I like it, but I just don't like this music. And I was like, yeah, I can mute it. So then I muted it, and then we're just sitting there like,
Heavy
I'm like,
breathing.
yeah, I'm just like, yeah, like, oh, so you guys like it? Like, what's the... But so they were like, yeah, we love it, and we'll take you in this program, but just so you know, this isn't like a 2D program. And so just to break it down for the people who might not know, because this is like my world, so I often will be like 2D, 3D, but like in animation, you sort of more or less got two routes. I mean, that's not true. You got a million routes, but like the two
Yeah.
mainstream routes are traditional 2D animation, which is like Walt Disney, Steamboat Mickey, where it's like,
Yep.
fluidity. And that's 24 frames a second, right? So this, I think, I don't know what this is, 29 or something, 29.97, I think. And, most stuff is that, I think slow-mo on your phone is 60.
Yeah, it's either
So
60 or 120, and then like the most is like
yeah,
240.
yeah, exactly. And it looks a little weirder the more you go. But
Yeah.
anyway, and then you can go down. You can go down even. You can go to 12, and then you could go to 8 and 6. I mean, I don't know why you would, but you could go to 1, and it would just be like,
Yeah, yeah, like
whatever.
with
Like,
that type of stuff, because I'm also into just making videos as well. So I kind of learned on my end on like doing that kind of
yeah,
stuff. What when people go down that low, I think it's just really to show motion or just to like bring the nostalgia back of the like the
yeah,
Super 8 film or whatever. But
yeah,
yeah, it
exactly.
has its
I think,
purposes.
I mean, I don't necessarily knock it. I
Yeah.
like Dragon Ball Z. I mean,
Oh,
you use it, like, here's the thing. Dragon Ball Z, for example, uses it to their advantage. So when they're talking, it's probably like, I don't know, like 8 to 16 like, it's very much just like blah 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 blah, like it's not, there's not really phonetic like ba la ba ka. It's just like open
really? I'd
shut.
never even noticed that. I thought I was just
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
oh wow.
I mean, like occasionally they have it when he's like, ah, they'll make it like open more, but it's not
Yeah.
like, you watch Pixar or something, they get it all right. You watch like, I'm trying to think, anything like 2D animated like cartoons on TV, they got there's like a
Yeah,
love
yeah.
chart that you need to learn. So anyway, 3D is so 2D traditional is you draw it, right?
Hmm.
And you draw it frame by frame. And so usually it's 24 frames per second, but you can utilize it to where you're drawing on like twos and threes. So it's like 12 frames a second, or it's, or sometimes you alternate and you put a 2 frame and then a 3 frame. Like you can hold frames for certain. It's not really strict. There's not really rules.
Yeah,
I
it's like
mean,
you
there
learn the
sort of
rules and
are.
then you can break them as long as you know what you're doing, kind of thing.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So actually, there. Speaking of rules for animation, or I'll get into that after this. But so then
Yeah.
2D and 3D. So 2D is hand drawn stuff, and sort
Like
of
you
at this
draw every
point you can do a
frame.
lot of stuff. Yeah, you can do a lot of stuff with 2D, where you could make like a puppet and draw just the body shape, and then draw the arm shape, and then just tell it you want it to move like this. So you don't necessarily have to draw every frame, but that's like a different type of. It's sort of like flash animation,
Okay.
like new like stuff on Newgrounds or stuff like that, if
Right,
you know
like
what I'm
the
talking
video
about.
games, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I used
Like
to be
not
on that all the
great,
time.
but like
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So and then 3D, you got 3D has taken such a jump in the last 20 years. It's not fair to say that Pixar invented it, but it was sort of like it's honestly it's fucking crazy. It's like Pixar was like Steve Jobs and George
Yeah.
Lucas both had their foot in what created Pixar. It's like a crazy story. I'm not really going to go into it because, again, I'm sure I get stuff wrong. I have a
Yeah.
dope book, The Illusion of Life, which is a crazy book.
The
It's like
illusion
this
of life.
big. It's like about, yeah, it's about animation and just like really cool. You like flip the pages and there's like stop motion stuff at the
Oh,
top.
dude, I gotta get into that then. It sounds
I have it
interesting.
somewhere over here. Yeah, under a
Um,
pile of stuff.
yeah, so that's that's why I also wanted you on here because animation is the way it's grown like
Yeah.
over the years, especially the like you said 3D, like going from like Toy Story when that came out to then you got
The
Soul,
new
which
Toy
is
Story. That's,
yeah, to
oh,
like
yeah,
the new
right. That, yeah, yeah.
Toy Story, and then now with Soul, how they're like creating those beings. Like I
Yeah.
was on Twitter and went on like a whole rabbit hole on how they made it, and it's like it's a whole science to it with like different
Yeah, it's
charting or
like
whatever.
particle systems and stuff. Yeah,
Dude, I was
it's crazy.
that like broke my mind, and it's just crazy to go from the
It
like what you were
really is. I mean,
saying,
yeah,
yeah,
you
like the
can
low
look up
poly or
stuff
whatever.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like even I think the best example is like, and I didn't even really notice it until I rewatched it, but like rewatch Toy Story 1. That's all I'm gonna say. It is janky. Everything about it is like, look at the fucking kids' faces. The kid's
Okay.
face, he looks like a monster. His face is like here, and then it's just forehead.
Big ass
The
forehead.
dog, the dog just like does not look like a dog. I mean, like it does, and it served its purpose. And I love Toy Story 1. Um, I think 3 was probably my favorite. The fourth one was pretty fire though. But anyway,
Oh yeah, it
the
was a
new
great send
one,
off.
yeah, the new one had this clip that came out in the trailer of a cat doing the downward dog or downward cat, that
Yeah,
yoga pose
yeah,
where you sort
yeah,
of stretch
yeah.
out in a beam of sunlight in that antique store. And every fucking hair on this cat is like blown in the wind. It looks like, you know what I mean? You like, and then you look at the first Toy Story and it looks like the skin is just like clay, or like they like
Yeah.
used felt for the fur. Like it's not quite, but I mean, since we've been watching it progress, I didn't notice it. I'm sure most people wouldn't notice it. But if you look at the first Toy Story compared to the new one, it's literally, it's like,
That's like video games too. I remember
Yeah.
I
Doom. Look
used
at Doom. You remember that?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
doo-doo,
exactly.
where it's like doo-doo.
I used
Yeah.
to rave about like Need for Speed Underground, like what, and like when I was in college, I was like, yeah, that game looked amazing back then. It was just so awesome. And then I re-downloaded it on the new like system, whatever. You see the ground; it's like super flat, no textures on it, and like the
Right.
car
And
is
you
all
like
like
see where
stiff.
the texture plane ends and
Yeah,
like yeah.
yeah. But then like
Like
back then,
GTA.
because back then that was your biggest frame of reference of like the newest
Yeah.
technology. So you were just like, this is the best it's gonna
Yeah, and
be.
it looked good. They were like, "This
Yeah.
looks awesome," and
Yep.
then like now we're looking at them like, no. But yeah, it's a lot of you know, exactly what you're saying. Since we're like um, evolving with the art, it's like hard to sort of see it's changing. Like you don't
Yeah.
notice your little brother grows up with you.
Because
You
yeah,
don't
you're
notice
with
he
him
looks
every
different.
day. Yeah, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. But then you go to school and you see him, and you're like, and or you don't see him for 4 years, and then you see him, and you're like, oh, this kid's noticeably older, or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
whatever, however, whatever that. I'm sure it has a name or something.
Probably,
But
but we're just gonna play it out and say we know what we're talking
yeah,
about.
I'll
So
just
let's
like
see.
pretend I know. Op, and then you'll Frankenbit edit my audio to make it
Yep.
say
Just
whatever
cut you out.
mesothelioma.
Or
Yeah,
mesothelioma, and I'll put it like right under here.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so obviously, oh, so yeah, continue with what you're saying, but obviously with what you picked as like animation, you needed to go to college.
Yeah.
It's not something that you could just kind of do on your own. I think you needed those
I
credentials, right?
mean, yes and no. It depends who you ask, sort of. If you asked me, I would have been like, no, I didn't want to go to school really, but my parents were like, you need the paper.
Yeah,
So I
my
went.
parents too.
They're not Italian or Robert De Niro or whatever that just was, but they were like, you need that piece of paper to show not only that you're committed to this, but that you were able to work for 4 years and that you're ready to work harder and whatever. I don't know. Whatever. It's a generational
Yeah,
thing.
it's a
So I was sort of
generation
like,
thing. So
and they were also like, if you go to school, we'll pay for the dorming, we'll pay for the schooling. If you don't, you're going to be living here and like you're on your own sort of. And I was like, well, like what great options. I guess I'll go do
exactly.
the schooling. So and it was good. Living in the city was probably the best part of it because I got so many cool opportunities and I met so many great people and it's just a different like vibe. But like this town I live in is like 75% white people. It's not diverse at all. And B, it like everything closes at like 10 o'clock. The
Yeah,
city, like
it
I
never
mean the city
sleeps.
closes at a
I
certain time, but like there's certain bodegas that will not.
I mean, yeah,
Um
bodegas. You go to bars too. Like there's
yeah,
always
yeah, yeah,
something
yeah.
to do, no matter what time it is.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. I
And
don't
I
know.
could,
I think that there is like 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. It's pretty rough to find something to do. Like that's when like the people there was like a meme I saw and it was like a roller coaster ride and it was like people being scared going down the roller coaster and then going up the other side were like dead ghouls. And it was like the people going down, it was like me waking up at 6 a.m. to go to work and the ghouls was like people
people that
going
are just
home at
going
6
home.
a.m. after. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because it's sort of like I don't know, it's a weird shift. Because I had to do so this is a good thing too. I'll get to this. I had to do an internship at NBC
Oh
for the
shoot! How'd
news.
you get that?
Yeah, I got that through a connection. Someone that worked there knew, I think, my mom or something, and they were like, "Oh, they do animation, Dillon. You should do this." So it was cool, and I did that. But it was for the news, and it was like 6 a.m. I had to be there, so I had to wake up at like 5,
Yeah.
and it was just, and then I had a 9 a.m. class that day, and it was like 4 days a week, and it was just like not like trippy. Oh, here's a crazy cool guy with eyeballs popping out. It was
No,
like
it's just like very generic.
infographic, like seven
Yeah.
dead in orphanage fire or whatever. It's like it wasn't fun. Like
Yeah.
it was. I was like literally like the coffee I was drinking. Uh, I boosted my like tolerance for coffee. I was drinking so much of it at that time. I literally like had to
It did
do like a double espresso thing to
because it
fucking stay
didn't
awake.
affect you. Yeah, I'm getting to that point too. Like I had a good month without drinking coffee, and then my first cup, I was like through the fucking walls. It's
Yeah,
true,
yeah,
man. You
yeah,
get
yeah.
used to these things, but
Yeah, anything, alcohol,
yeah.
marijuana,
And then so you
coffee,
have
caffeine.
you have this boring ass NBC job. I mean, it's great experience. You got the experience, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
not
And it's a
something you
dope
wanted to do.
resume builder, but yeah, it's not what I wanted to do. But it was cool and it was paid, most importantly. So I
Oh,
was like, hell
yeah.
fucking yes. So yeah, I did that, and it was again, it was a learning experience. It was cool, and then sort of jumping all over the place here, but so I won this contest with this water bottle company called Essentia,
Essentia. Yeah,
and
I had
yeah,
that on here. Yeah.
yeah, and it's a I mean, honestly, it's a water bottle company. What fucking more could I say about it? It's not the most
But you got
newest
it.
invention.
Yeah, but you
It's
got
not
a
the most
cool
ethical thing. Yeah. But for what I got out of it,
yeah.
it was worthwhile and it was cool. So they had this opportunity, and it was like, we're looking for emerging artists, like in these 10 cities. If you live in one of these 10 cities, email your portfolio. Emerging student artists competition, whatever. And I saw an ad, I saw it on my phone once or twice, and I was like, I don't want to, like, whatever,
So
maybe I'll do
wait,
that. And then
where on your phone? Like, did you like?
like an ad, it was like an Instagram ad.
No
It was
way.
just like apply here. Yeah, it was just like apply here, apply here. And I saw it a
Damn.
couple times, and I was like, I kept like, oh, I'm gonna do that, and then I didn't. And then one time I saw it, and I clicked it, and it brought me to the page, and it was like fill out a survey. And I was like, fuck that. And then one day, I don't know what I think I was just like sitting in my apartment smoking, and it was like 2 a.m. and I wrote this essay,
Oh
and
my
I don't even
gosh.
I it didn't
Don't remember
save it
it.
because it Google
No.
Doc form sent it. So I don't even remember what it said. But bro,
Yo.
two weeks later I get a phone call, and I'm so ready for it to be like a robot, like your car insurance need, like fuck that. But I get it all day. And I was so ready for that, and I pick up, and they were like, Dillon? And I was like, it's
How do they
Dillon.
get? How do they get Dillon?
I don't know. Some people, when you type Dillon, sometimes on the iPhone, it autocorrects it to Dillian. There puts an I right at the in
Oh,
between
so
the
it's
L
probably
and
like
the
from
O.
your. Okay, yeah.
And so then no, I didn't do it. I
Right,
didn't do it.
right,
Because
right.
I actively ask people to change. Like if someone's like, "Hey, Dillian," I'm like, "It's Dylan." They're like, "Oh, I typed that. I don't know why I did that." And I'm like, yeah, no, it's shit. What? I just got a notification. Your Apple ID is being used to sign into a new device. It says Kuala Lumpur. Where the
Well,
hell is that?
I
Putra Yah Klang. This place is called Klang. Don't allow. Oh, should I change my password? No, it's
probably,
gonna kick me
man.
out. I'll do it later. I'll do it later.
Okay, all right. Well, that's something we learned on the
Karoon
podcast.
Gabla and whatever. Getting hacked, right?
Yeah, right
I
now.
was worried for a second. I So they called me and they were like, Dillian? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, you won. And I was like, I won what? Like, who the hell is this? And they were
Yeah.
like, it's whatever, Mrs. One and Mrs. Two from Essentia. We're calling to let you know that you won the contest. And I was like, I'm sorry, like what contest? Like I had
Oh my
no
god,
recollection. And they were
dude.
like, the water bottle contest. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, I totally remember. And I was like, that's awesome. And then so that came with like a year supply of this water, which it's like alkaline water. So they claim it like cures cancer or
Yeah, it's
something.
like better
And
for you or whatever.
it's okay.
So, was
Yeah.
that your
It's like,
payment?
no, that would have been awful if they were like, here's some
Okay, I was
water
about to
in
say, yeah,
plastic.
yeah.
It was that, and then the prize was that I got my artwork painted on a billboard in New York City. Essentially, it was like a wall, but it's essentially a billboard.
Right.
Through this company called Overall Murals, who does this kind of they're bringing back like the old 1920s guys on ropes
Yeah, I was
painting signs.
I've been trying to get in with them, man, with them and
Dude,
Colossal
it's
Media.
like niche. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or actually,
it's
Colossal did my mural, and I actually got a
okay.
tour of the premises. I'm sorry, I was thinking overall because I applied to both of them too.
Yeah, yeah,
Didn't hear anything back, but it's sort of like they want you to drop everything and do that. Because like I toured the place and I met with the guy who like founded Colossal Media, which was like crazy. And dude, the paint room is so cool.
it's legit. Yeah,
It's
I've seen
like
like the like Vimeo
it's like a
like
million
videos.
color wheel.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're probably like TikTok famous or some shit or whatever. But he was pretty much like, yeah, it's you start an apprenticeship and it's like shit job, and then you work your way up, and maybe one day you'll be a color mixer. Like
yeah.
that was the peak, was
I'm
like color
so
mixing.
wait, color mixer, not a painter.
No, painting is like the grunt work.
Oh, painting is the
Well,
grunt
actually,
work.
there are different steps. There's somebody, you could be a digital artist and you work on this computer lab place, and you take
Okay.
the artwork and you outline it and you just make an outline. And then on the second floor, they have someone projecting the outlined image onto this roll of paper, and they have this like soldering iron shit, and they burn through the paper, and then they roll it back up,
Yo.
and then they take the rolled up paper to the wall, unroll it, and it's a stencil, and they take
Yeah.
like a charcoal bag and they hit it on the stencil, and then they roll the paper back up, and where the charcoal hit through the paper cut or
Yeah,
paper
that was
burns
the
rather,
outline,
it
right?
leaves the pencil outline, and then the painters have all the colors mixed for them,
So it's
and
already
you
like
just
paint by
color by
color.
numbers.
Yeah, color by numbers.
So you could imagine, as somebody with your credentials or mine, who all we want to do is be creative, it could be frustrating having to be like, this is salmon red, not curtain red, and you're like, like I thought that looks better, and they're like, well, the picture was like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
Oh,
sort
dude,
of
I thought
color
these
by
people,
numbers. It's not like,
I thought these guys were on top of their doing their own thing. Like, so it's
nah, rarely. Most of the times, often what they'll do is like the company, like Essentia, will commission an artist, me
right.
in this case, or someone. I won a contest. I didn't really get commissioned. I sort of did, but like whatever, for other people, they'll commission a 3D artist or a painter or whatever, and they make them the digital file, and then these people paint it on a wall, and it's really only up for like 3 months, and then they paint it white, and someone pays them another whatever $1 million or however. I don't even know how much they get paid per wall,
A
but it's
lot
like
because
the
of
amount
what
of work.
I've seen what
I know,
the
but then they just
painters get
paint
paid.
white right over it. They just paint white right over it. It's
It's the
like
name of the game,
almost
man. It's
tragic because
like you said,
yeah,
it's a
yeah, yeah,
billboard.
yeah, exactly. But so yeah, the primo spot, it seemed like, was the color painter position, because it's just like you're not in the hot sun all day on a fucking wall 75 feet
Yeah.
above the ground painting.
Honestly, though, I'd rather do that than I don't think I could. I like color mixing would
But
be
like as
cool.
a side hustle, bro, I mean, like you go there,
Yeah.
you do that, and then you go home and you paint what you want,
Yeah,
and you'll
like,
be set money wise, because they
dude,
do pay really well. You're right.
yeah, I was looking, it was like 80 grand or something for the, I don't know, I forget what position, but it was like a lot of money that Glassdoor was saying the estimation was. And I was like, dude, this is it. This is what I want to do. Like, I would be so
Yeah.
happy here, but it's impossible to get in unless you know the guy or something, you know? Like, people
Yeah,
are,
it's
I
pretty
didn't
niche.
realize how many applications that they were getting, you know?
And I was even like, oh, would you mind if I like painted my art like with you guys, along with you guys? And they were like, no. They were like, you're not qualified. You haven't done the experience. You haven't done the time. And I was like, okay.
Damn.
Like,
So you just
like,
gave
all
them
right.
the, so it was just your digital
I gave
piece,
them
but,
the art.
and they
Yeah, I
just put
made
it
it
up there.
this crazy Illustrator file. It was like mad intricate. I have it somewhere rolled up here, a print of it. And it was like all these buildings and stuff. And I was like, if I'm not painting this, I'm gonna make it crazy. Straight lines everywhere. And yeah, they painted it, and it was up for like 3 months. But there's a lot of like, I don't know, a lot of times people don't necessarily get it. They're like, bro, you sponsored by them? You're sponsored by a water bottle company? I'm like, not, it was a year-long thing, like 2 years ago, like,
Yeah, yeah.
I was, and it was cool, and I got money for it, and I got social media exposure, whatever you wanna call it, and I got paid. They paid me, like, 2 grand for it too, which
Oh,
was
dude,
dope.
that's great. That's especially if you
Yeah, that
didn't
was the
have to
best
paint
part.
it. Yeah, you didn't even have to paint it. You
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah. So they paid me for the art, you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, and then they probably also paid colossal, or God knows how much, probably more than 2 grand if I had to guess,
Yeah.
because it's a lot more work. And exactly what you said, those painters aren't cheap per hour. But so it was cool. I went and I saw them painting it, and I was talking to the guys painting it. The guys were chiller than the people at the headquarters. They were just a little bit more like strict or whatever.
Makes sense. I think that
Not
makes
strict, but
yeah,
like
no, it's
it
just
was like an interview. I was like, I just wanted a
yeah.
tour. Like, I wanted. It's so cool. The building is like covered in this cool cartoon um, of like 100
It's the
cartoon
one in
guys, and
Brooklyn,
it's
right?
like,
That one? That
yeah, yeah,
building?
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
right on, right by the pier. Not the pier, but Gowanus. No, I don't know if it's Gowanus.
Yeah,
Whatever
I
that
just
like
remember it was
gross
in Brooklyn.
water
I've seen
is.
like the aerial shots of
Yeah,
the building and everything. Like they have their own mural
yeah, yeah.
on
It's
the building and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, and it's a cool. Their logo is pretty cool too.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes, so that was that opportunity, and that was awesome. And then the NBC thing I did, and then so yeah, then I'm in school going for animation, and I did my thesis um, as this 2D animation. I mean, it was like mainly 2D animation, and it was like about this rat eating a mushroom,
That's the
and
one that I got
it
really
was sort
interested in.
of.
Yeah, like that's the one that I was just like, whoa. It was like all claymation,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, so that's the one I was just
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
needed to talk to
There were
this
parts
guy.
of it that were claymation. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
Dude, but it was like, it, yeah, because claymation is its own thing too. Like stop motion is like take a picture. It's the same idea of 24 frames a second, but you're
But
taking
just
a
all by
picture and then
hand.
readjusting with your
Yeah.
physical hands. Yeah. Which yeah, I did. So, but so since there's so many types of animation, I for my thesis was like, I want to try a bunch of them. I want to do a bunch of them, and I just want to like have fun with it. Like I want to do animation that I haven't done yet. So I did stop motion stuff. I did a lot of 3D stuff. I did some stuff in Unity, just like weird, crazy things that I hadn't tried before, and I was experimenting with some of it. And some of the stuff I made, I didn't even put into the film. Some of it I put in for like 2 seconds that you would like barely even see. But I just tried a lot of different stuff to just sort of like expand what I was able to do and what I could try to do, and also have a cool portfolio piece that's like, look, this kid can animate with clay, he can animate in 3D, he can animate in
Yeah.
2D, he can animate with felt and with paper, cut out paper, with pixels. I did a bunch vaporwave stuff. I did a bunch of different stuff. So that was sort of my intention with that. And that film was like 3 minutes maybe, and it probably took me like 6 to 7 months to make. And I put like everything into that film
Jesus.
in those like 6 months. Like I was constantly working. Now, before I was talking about drawing on the thing where you draw here and you look here,
Yeah.
but now I've upgraded. I have it's like below my
You got
new computer,
the
which I also just
Cintiq.
bought. Yeah, I got a Cintiq, and it's without a doubt the best thing I've ever purchased in my artistic career. I bought it sometime in high school. It was probably $800 then, or $900, something like that. And I think my mom might have given me $100 for it because my dad broke my old one or something. He like poured soup on it or something
Oh
ridiculous. I
man.
don't really remember. But so this new one I got literally changed the game for me. It opened so much, because So what it is it's like now I'm working on a tablet, and this is the pen for it. And when I'm drawing on the tablet, I can see
Yeah, you
what
see what
I'm
you're
drawing.
doing. Yeah.
It's essentially a second monitor.
Yeah.
And this stylus is I say it now and it's not really impressive because of the Apple Pencil and whatever, everything
It's
Intuos,
pressure
whatever, but
sensitive, so you could
it's
get all the
pressure
strokes and
sensitive. Yeah.
everything. Yep.
And you can assign the buttons to do different things. There's a bunch of
Yeah.
buttons on it, so you can really customize this. I'm like selling it. Buy now. you can customize it to really work to your advantage.
Yeah,
And I love it. I have an iPad and I have an Apple Pencil and Procreate, which is awesome and was a game changer as well.
dude. Oh yeah.
Because
And
the
they
second
have
they added the
the
animation update,
animation. Yeah, yeah.
the second they added that, it was when I was making my thesis film. They added it in like December or something, and I was like, I'm buying an iPad. I'm buying that pencil. Like, this is on the go animation. I can do this shit
Yep.
on the train. I don't have to be at my Cintiq. Um, and it's good. The animation on Procreate, it's good. Not as great as Toon Boom or TV Paint
Yeah,
or
because it has its limits
whatever.
with like the file size and how many layers you could have.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
especially with
exactly. Yeah.
animation, you got to have those 24
Yeah.
frames, and that's only like a second. So, that's why I haven't really used it. Um,
Yeah.
I wanted to get into
No,
it,
I
but I
mean, you can
just,
do like simple stuff. Like I've seen like lo-fi beat stuff where it's just like a leaf
oh,
falling
like the
into a
same
puddle or
movement, like a
something.
simple thing. Okay.
Yeah. Or like a guy sitting in a chair blinking, looking at the stars, and he's just blinking, and then a shooting star goes by. Like you can do simple, just like straightforward animation. I have seen crazy stuff where it's like when it like follows the fist and it's like
Yeah.
and like create, but like that's more on the animator than it is on the iPad. Like it's a lot of talent and technique and drawing
Yeah.
and
And
perspective and stuff like
and
that.
knowing how to work with limits, because with me, I'm like the
Yeah,
more the layers, the merrier. You should see my files, dude. It's I
yeah,
don't
I
name
know.
them or
Mine are
anything,
crazy.
and even for like a regular portrait, I'll have like 20 layers because they all have a different effect or they have like a different part of the anatomy or something like crazy. I'm crazy when I'm
Yeah,
drawing.
I have to name them. I got into it at some for a while. I never did, and it was like Untitled 1 to 78. But like at the point I'm in, some of the work I do, like I said before, you can animate using puppets almost, where you have a
Yeah.
guy's body and then a guy's arm and then the guy's head and then the guy's mouth. So what you would often do is in Photoshop make the rig of that character, his body, his arms, his head, and then each one is an individual layer. And then when you bring that Photoshop file into After Effects, those layers become their own attributes, and you tell it make the arm move
Yeah, like
at this
move up.
anchor point.
Yeah, I remember that doing
So
that
what
stuff.
happens is, you know, and again, if you made one person waving and it's just one arm that has to move, you could be fine if you named it Untitled 1 and Untitled 2. But when you're making something that's like 8 minutes, not 8 minutes, whatever, 4 minutes long, and it's like 12 different characters and 5 different backgrounds and all this and all that,
Yeah.
and like 20 mouth shapes, and then blinking is like
You
four in
definitely got to be
itself. Like,
organized then with your
yeah, you
layers for
gotta
that.
organize it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially because after, if you like, if I did everything in this file and then I in After Effects made it this person and I made the person wave, and then the person I did it for is like, oh, I don't like that his hair is brown. Can you make his hair green? And I have to go back into Photoshop. If I colored his hair green and refreshed After Effects, it re-imports the assets and it would just make it green. So you know what I mean? So
Makes
like
it easier. Yeah. Okay.
makes edits a little easier. But that's again just sort of my workflow that I've found within the last 4 or 5 years that I think works best for me, because most of the time I'll do something, someone's like, change it. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Nobody's
you're
ever
paying
happy
me,
on the
so I'll do
first
it.
run.
Yeah,
Um,
never.
I'm just thankful. Like, I mean, you've found your workflow where you're able to do it really quickly, but I don't think I'd be able to handle all that. With all those
Yeah.
kind of things. I'm already complaining about the when I have to change certain things in my portraits or whatever when I get
Right,
commissioned.
right, right, right.
But it is what
No,
it
I
is.
mean, I don't know. It's yeah, working freelance is um, and I guess this is a good segue into
Yeah.
this
So like,
because
how
I'm
do you
sort
get
of done
into
talking
like?
about school and whatever.
Yeah.
So right, so freelance is, it's it's interesting because I don't wake up every day. Like I wake up every day and I'm like, I want to make, like, I want to do art, I want to draw, I want to make this, I want to make that. But I don't wake up every day and I'm like, I want to make a logo for this guy, or I want to make a t-shirt design for this band. Like most of the time you just don't, there's nothing, there's no real drive for me to make this for them. The only drive that's there for me is that they're paying me to make it for them.
Yep.
So I'm in it for the money and they're in it for what they want. So a lot of times someone will be like, I want to see what you can do. Go crazy. You do your style. I love your style. Your style's so great. Do your style. I draw my style and they're like, oh, that's cool. Can you make it like this clip art image? I'm like, yeah, like, I guess, man, like you're missing the point. Like
you asked for my
reached out to
style.
me.
Yeah.
And then you're just gonna bootleg this off of it. Like you could have had anyone. You could have done that. I could have linked you to a YouTube video on 10 things you need to know in Adobe Illustrator, and you could have done that. And in reality, you don't even need 10 things. You need 2 buttons: image trace and expand. You know what I mean? So many people do so much garbage with those two tools. You don't even need to know how.
And they make a lot of money doing that. You know, it's not even like real artists. They're just using people.
Yeah, like
other artwork
I see so
as
much
templates
of that on Insta.
Yeah.
But so whatever, it is what it is. And at the end of the day, they're paying me for it. So they're not going to pay me if I'm like, no, I want to do my thing. They're going to be like, all right, I won't pay you. I'll pay this guy to do that. So a little bit is like, all right, well, I'll cave on my morals and I'll make it more like this clip art. Like I try not to make it just the clip art because it's like, then it's just fucking tracing it. But it's like, there have been situations where someone's like, but this is what I want. And I'm like, right, but you understand, like, I can't just take that. Like you either have to pay for that stock image or I have to fucking alter it. Like, I don't know. It's a weird,
there's a bunch of work
then again,
like that.
Sometimes
like,
I get people that are like, do your thing. And they just let me do my thing. And those, I like a lot and I always have fun on those projects.
Those are the gems that we rarely get,
Yeah, exactly. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, I know, especially with starting out, you're definitely going to be making work that you're not proud of, that you don't even show people, that you just do it for the money and doesn't even see the light of day on your portfolio or anything. God knows.
A lot of times I'll have someone say that. They'll be like, oh, I want you to do a logo, but can you make it like sleek? Like I don't want it to be cartoony. I'm like, yeah, I know what a sleek logo looks like. Like I get graphic design, like the fucking circle template and then another circle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the little template
that,
to
like
make
rhythm and graphic symmetry and contrast and stuff. I get all those elements and I can do that. The reason I don't do that is because I have more fun doing my shit. But like, I can do that and I can adapt. Essentially, I'll adapt to whatever you want it. You just have to be straight up and be like, change this, change that. And so a lot of the time it's that conversation or the lack of conversation, or sometimes it just takes a while. I'll email a version to someone and they get back to me in a week, or they get back to me on a Sunday and they're like, this looks great. Can I get it done by Tuesday? I'm like you just waited a week to fucking respond to me. If you responded a week ago, I would have said, yeah, now you're going to make me rush. Like I have things that I need to prioritize. I don't know. It's a lot of like compromising and juggling, and even money. People are like iffy about money sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, I stopped sending the file to people unless they pay me. I take a picture on my phone and I put the reflection of the light and I like put my cursor over it and shit. Like, because the watermark, if I put a watermark on it, they're like, get rid of the watermark. I can't see what the artwork looks like. I'm like, well, I don't want to get rid of the watermark. You're being sketchy. Like,
no.
So then I get rid of the watermark. I got to take a photo with like the flash like down here so that they can't just like image trace that and use it.
I learned that
because I have had people do that.
Yeah. So have you started doing contracts?
No, I mean, it like the thing is like it's that first time it happened was I was sort of new to commissions, and it was like a random person who reached out to me, and they just like ignored me. It wasn't like they were like, I mean, I guess they were, because then they posted it, like they edited the artwork that I sent them. But it was like he had sent me some money. It just wasn't all of it. Yeah. So it was like at the end of the day, I was like, whatever. I guess it was just a cheaper project than the other ones. I tried not to like let it weigh me down, but it was just sort of like, and then it gave me trust issues with everyone else. They're like,
Yeah.
yo, can you send me a better photo? And I'm like, no, I can't. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not, just because that person fucked me over. Like, now I'm always like,
No, as
gotta
you
be
should be.
like,
You
I'm not just
shouldn't
gonna
trust.
forward you the,
Yeah, you shouldn't trust people right away. Like that happened with me. I did a full on portrait, like double portrait, when I was starting out. Sent the picture to the girl, like head on and everything. She posted it on Instagram and then ghosted me. So I have this random like double portrait in my house of her and
right.
her kid. Never got paid for it,
And
but
every
she,
time you
she
see it, you're like, fuck that. It just makes you
yeah.
mad. Yeah.
I think I
I'm
even
the
threw it
same way. I
out.
have files on my computer like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I even
exactly.
threw it
Delete
out
them.
because I just couldn't even like look at it. So ever since then, like I, I learned in school because I know with one of my professors they taught us like what kind of contracts they do, and they gave us a template version of it. So you kind of word it in a way that you want to do, like you want to submit it to them or whatever. So now I don't do
Yeah.
any projects unless they sign that contract and they send me at like 25% upfront, so I know
Yeah.
I'm
Deposit. Yeah.
yeah, deposit, and then they'll get the final artwork once I get the final payment. Like I'll keep the artwork with me. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's just how you got to be because
Yeah.
people are
No, I
grinding,
know. I
man.
totally understand. Yeah, definitely. And it's only one bad apple to ruin it
Yeah,
all. But it's like, some people some people understand how hard it is to work and put like, you say double portrait and instantly I'm like, the time
yeah,
spent on that. Damn, down the drain.
yeah.
That bitch doesn't get it. She obviously wouldn't get it, or she wouldn't have just, you know what I mean? Like, she was
Yeah,
probably just like, oh, it probably took him a day. He won't care if I just screenshot it. Like, I'm not going to pay for it, but I'm not hanging it up. I'm just screenshot. Like,
yeah.
probably justified it in her bullshit mind the way that they do. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? And like, I don't know. The thing about contracts is like, I have signed contracts for like the big project stuff, like the
Yeah.
water bottle thing and the Cintiq thing and the other stuff I've done. Actually, I'm doing a few projects now that I had to with a animation studio. But
Oh,
like for
that's
the most
awesome.
part, it's like a random dude on Instagram, like, "Yo, my album's about to blow up. Can you make this cover art move?" I'm like, "Yeah, like sure. Send me $200. I'll do it. Send me $100. I'll do it. Like depends how much it is."
Yeah,
I rarely charge like under $100, and 100 is usually just an easy number. People like, oh, can I get an album artwork? $100. Like I'm pretty upfront with it. I don't charge tax. I don't charge for
yeah.
revisions. I don't really
Stuff I'm not
care. If you
passionate
want
about.
if you want it
Yeah,
animated, it goes up. Like it's just that simple. And yeah, if
yeah,
I'm not passionate and they're being a dick, I'll definitely make it a little bit more.
yeah. Or like if I'm not passionate about it too, like logos. People hire me for logos, and I'm just like I don't feel confident in them sometimes. So I'll just be like, yeah,
Yeah.
just give me like $200. Like I don't like go crazy on it. But when it comes to portraits, so then But
Yeah, exactly. You gotta amp it up on that. But so the thing
yeah,
is, the album artwork isn't really paying my bills. It's not really doing any of that. It's just sort of like pocket money, and it doesn't consume my everyday. It's like
yeah,
maybe like an hour a day. I'll try and finish the work I didn't finish. You know what I mean? Like I pace it out. For the most part, it's pretty consistent. It's pretty nice. And sometimes I have bigger projects. Like if someone wants an animated music video, up a lot more
yeah.
than
I saw
just the
that
fucking
recent one that you
album artwork.
posted. It's like the guy walking on the street, and then it's was that one that you're talking about that you recently
Oh
did?
yeah, 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 yeah. That was one I did. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For this guy, that was a cool project. It was like it was just a walk cycle of this guy
Yeah,
because he wanted a full animated music video, but he didn't want to pay me for a full animated music video, which I get. It's a
yeah,
fuck ton of money. So the compromise we made, which I make with a lot of people oftentimes, and if you're watching this and you need art, hit me up. But the compromise is that like if you don't want to pay as much, it just that you're not paying for complexity. So it's like it's just going to get a lot more simple. So
yeah,
like, if you want this crazy Naruto fight of you punching and all this shit, that's so much drawing, right?
yeah,
Or the compromise is we come up with 24 drawings of the guy walking like this, and then I made one really long background, and then you just sort of like move the background and like duplicate it. You know what I mean? Like a
yeah,
old
yeah.
like like
Like the old
theater
like
production.
Walt Disney like
Yeah,
Mickey Mouse
exactly.
ones.
That was the
Yeah.
whole idea. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like to be called parallaxing, which is sort of a cool word. But so that was the compromise, and he was like, "Oh, I want 3 music videos. Like that would be a lot of money." But
Yeah.
instead, what we did was 3 30-second loops, and then I made those 30-second loops. And even within those 30 seconds, the actual animation of the guy walking is 24 frames. It's 1 second. So it's 30 iterations of that. And then the background loops once, right? So then you duplicate that, and the entire thing probably loops 4 or 5 times. And then you, whatever, I put captions on the bottom, and you can't, you don't really care that it loops. You're like noticing
Yeah.
different things or whatever. You're like, it was more like, just to accompany the song. It's not like to overshadow it. But
Yeah, like you said, like with the
I've done
lo-fi,
different stuff.
like with the lo-fi
Yeah,
beats, like the simple animations just to accompany it.
yeah,
So
exactly. I love doing those though. Those are so much fun.
yeah, they look a lot of fun and they come out really good. Like I really like that one. I listened to the whole soundtrack just so I could see the animation.
Yeah,
So I want
yeah.
to
Thank
talk
you,
to you
man.
about. So tell us about the job you got with Wacom, and then I
Whack
want to get
'em.
yeah I want to get into the Eric Andre animation that I thought it was like legit, and the
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes one. So
Oh
let's
my
talk
god. Yeah, yeah,
about
yeah. Those are
the
both. Yeah.
yeah, let's talk about the Wacom,
Okay.
and then
So
those two after.
gotcha. So I graduated school this May, which was not the best time to graduate.
Yeah,
Whatever. I don't really fucking care. I didn't have a graduation in person, and I didn't get to see my thesis in a theater on a big screen,
they did like the
which sort of
VR
sucks
thing.
because
Yeah, they did like the whole
I
VR.
didn't even fucking watch that.
Yeah,
I didn't. It doesn't even. That doesn't concern me. And they were like, "We're gonna hold a ceremony in October, next October." And I was like, "That's not gonna happen. It's gonna get pushed back. And even if it was, I wouldn't. I don't want to go. I'm done.
yeah,
Like I don't. I'm done with it. For what? It's really the photo op you're
yeah,
paying
yeah,
for. A
yeah.
Radio City. Like fuck Times Square. It's like I don't want to be there. My whole family. Like whatever. It's just too much. So I was like, I mean, but it did suck.
Yeah,
Just sort
no,
of like a random week in March, and then I didn't see any of the kids I went to school with again. Or
yeah,
that's not true. I've hung out with one or two of them, but like for the most part,
dude.
just sort of like rug pulled out at the
My
end of the
birthday was
line
the
again.
week before, and for my birthday, like it was,
Yeah.
I think the 7th that we went out for my birthday. We went to a kick axe. It's like the axe throwing place, and even
Oh yeah, my
then,
friend works there.
oh yeah, I might have met him. Who
Yeah, yeah,
knows?
yeah.
But even then, they had
His
like
name is
the
Nick.
I don't think I had him, but they had like the hand sanitizers everywhere. Everybody was like a little on
Yeah.
edge, but still having fun. And then instantly,
Yeah,
like
but it
that
wasn't
week,
crazy.
yeah, that
Yeah, I
week
know. It was
shut
so
down
wild,
out of
like a
nowhere.
switch. A switch was flipped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
So yeah, I graduated, and so I was just sort of like again looking for any jobs I could get, looking for anything I could pay. And so I got a few commissions here and there, and I was doing a few of this and that. And the Wacom thing was again just like a thing I saw. Someone I actually went to FIT with sent me the link, and it was on the Wacom's social media, and it was like again like young artists, student artists, animators apply here. And I was like, I just graduated, so technically I'm not a student, but like I know my FIT
Nah,
email
you
still
milk that,
works.
bro. Yeah, you
Like,
just got. I
yeah, I
still
was
use
like,
my
fuck it,
email.
I'm in. Yeah, yeah, because it doesn't. It keeps saying the password's gonna change, and it never does.
Yeah,
At least that's what mine says now. Maybe it's gonna lock me out next time I try because I just said it. Knock on wood. But for the most part, it was just like luck of this kid sending me this ad, and I was like, all right. And I applied for it, and I sent them a link to my website. I just said www.dillonokeefe.com, and I sent it to them, and they were like, they emailed me the next day. And I was like, damn, that was quick. They really got things moving over there. And the email was like, hey, please send us a video, not your entire website. And I was like, okay, whoops, like my bad. So I sent them Rat City on Shrooms, which was my thesis film, what we were just talking about. And then like 2 weeks later, they emailed me and they were like, hey, you won. Are you ready to do this? And I was like, do what? Like, I didn't even know what it really was. I just like signed up. It was pretty vague. They were like, just say yes or no. And I was like, yes, I guess. They were like, all right, details coming next week. And then like a week passed, and the next week it was like, so this is what they proposed, is that they were trying to do a week-long animation challenge, and it was a team-based animation. So there were 4 teams, and it was 4 people on a team, and it was East versus West, right? And I was on the East Coast team, and 4 other people were on the West Coast team, and then one girl on my team, I think, is in Pennsylvania, maybe, and the other one, or Philadelphia, and the other one was in Georgia, and then this kid from Brazil. So it was pretty cool. Just like the sheer scale of it. And then other people were like Seattle, Washington, Utah, I don't know, somewhere else, California. I don't really, I bet those are all iffy, if not wrong. But I know the Brazil one is right. But anyway, so these kids are on their own team, and we didn't see what they were doing, the West Coast team, and they didn't see what we were doing. And the goal was that, and this was sponsored by Wacom, by this drawing tablet company, and the goal was to have like this reality series type thing, like, can these kids produce an animation in a week? So they had like interviewed us every night and stuff. And it's like, it's sort of cool. It's on YouTube. You can go watch it if you want. I thought they were going to edit the Zoom calls a little bit. It's a little bit dry, and they're long. The episodes are long. It's like maybe 6 hours altogether.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I mean, they edited it and they did a great job. And
Okay.
like, I hope they're not watching this. Shout out that guy. If you edited this and you're watching this, I'm not shitting on you. You did a great job. I'm just saying they were long. And I watched them all, but I don't know if other people did. Anyway, those are on YouTube. They're on my website if you wanted. There's a link somewhere. But so the film I produced with that is, we came up with this idea, and it was sort of like a collaboration idea. One kid said this, and then it was like piggyback on that idea. And we all sort of had all these ideas, and we were like, this is like, we're all passionate about this. It seemed like a good idea. And it was this story about this witch, this lonely witch, making a potion. And you're like, oh, it's a witch making a cauldron, like a story as old as time. What's she making? Something spooky dooky, I guess. And then like hiding subtle hints that the witch is like a widow and that her husband died. And then she puts her husband's hat. She like rubs his, like, sad looks at his picture and drops the hat in the cauldron. And that hat was the final ingredient, along with like a nose hair and an eyeball and a lizard or some shit. That hat, the final ingredient, makes the cauldron shake and it explodes. It's this cool explosion. And then like out of it is like a zombie shot. And it's spoiler. I'm going to spoil it if you haven't seen it, whatever. It's like a minute long. You can go watch it. It'll still be good, even if I spoil it. And then the hand comes up, and it's her dead husband that she brought back. But he comes up like a strong silhouette, and you're like, oh, she did it. And then the silhouette goes, and he's like,
it's just like a zombie. Yeah. I watched it with my girlfriend yesterday, and she loved it, man.
Yeah, that one we were really trying to go with like sweet, make it a sweet story.
Yeah.
And I directed that short, so I sort of took the lead on it, just in the sense that I directed the story and a lot of the animation and stuff, and I pieced it all together and timed it out and edited it. But it was definitely a team effort, and it was we did it in a week. It took us a week to make that, which I don't know. I mean, some people might think that's impressive. Some people might think that's not that impressive. It depends how much you know about animation, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's not that easy of a task to make an animation.
And then on top of that, you're working with people in different cities. You're not like all in one studio. So
yeah. And there were like other constraints. It had to be a certain time limit, and we had to meet like timeline deadlines too. It was like this, like the animatic has to be done this week, and then changes this week, and a bunch of stuff. It was a crazy timeline, but it was like a cool project, and it was definitely fun. And like, you know, the people I met out of it were all really cool. So
yeah, and it puts you into like that environment of what to be expected when you're working in animation, at least, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely tight deadlines, and a lot of drawing.
So that's so
and
legit.
So yeah, they paid me. They paid me for that too. Sorry, no, but that was the end of it. They paid me for that too, and they gave me a new Wacom. It's called the Wacom One. It's like
Oh
a
yeah,
it's like an iPad.
I have like the one right before it was just the Cintiq
Yeah,
like Pro 13. It's like the same
yeah,
size as
that's
the
what I
iPad.
have the
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I have, the 13 HD,
Yeah.
or maybe mine's 16. Mine might be 16. Yeah, no, it's definitely 16 HD, and but it's an old model. But the Wacom one I have is cool. It's like an iPad, and it's really I mean, the thing that's sort of annoying is that I bought an iPad like six
Like
months before I won
yeah.
that. So yeah, it's tough trying to use both of them. But it's dope. It's a dope product. I might even use the Wacom one when my Cintiq gives out. But the Cintiq I've literally had for almost 6 years, and it's still runs
Yeah, they
just as good
definitely
as the
hold
day I
up.
bought it.
I won
Yeah, it's great company.
for my senior show. I submitted the Full Metal Jacket poster,
Yeah,
and that
yeah, the guy
was
pointing you.
yeah, that was the one that won first place, and that's how I got the Cintiq. But when I got it, I was mad, like hyped to use it because Cintiqs were all the rage and all that. But
Yeah,
I had my iPad, and that's all I was using. I started
yeah,
using it
yeah, yeah.
again this year because I got a huge commission because they wanted a 36 by 48 portrait, and I have to obviously work on like 400 DPI to get all the details of the brushstrokes in. So that's when I brought it in and started using that. And I love it. I'm
Yeah,
back
yeah.
to using Photoshop more often than I use my iPad. But yeah,
Yeah,
they last
the
forever.
cool thing too is that you can save Procreate files as Photoshop files.
Yeah, and you could
So
just
you can,
that's
I
what I
mean,
do.
the resolution sucks on the
Yeah,
transfer over, if you know what I, because the iPad photos are so much smaller and the
yeah,
layers are limited, like we were saying.
yeah.
Procreate, they'll update it at some point. I'm sure they will because they're
Listen,
constantly debugging it and shit.
other than that though, dude, that fucking program is
Oh yeah, they
amazing.
knock, dude. But think, it's crazy for an app that has no, like, it's an independent app.
Yeah,
It has nothing to do with Apple. And it literally revitalized the iPad and sold it to a whole new demographic and market of people.
yeah, it,
That the Apple Pencil one had been out for how long? And nobody was like, you got to get an iPad if you're an artist.
yeah,
Nobody cared until Procreate started like making these moves and became like, oh, this is a good app. Like, this is making it worthwhile. And now
yeah,
it's like, I feel like if you're an artist, you got to have fucking Procreate and an iPad.
yeah. Like even my friends, they're tattooing now. That's what they use to make the stencils and print them out like real
Yeah, yeah,
quick.
yeah. Most people, yeah, because it's just like, I mean, it's quick. It's
Yeah.
just like, I can print from my iPad to my printer. Like, you know what I mean? I don't even have to email it to myself. It's crazy. Apple is on top of it.
And then the airdrop
Um,
feature is amazing, especially if you have like a MacBook. You could just airdrop it, and
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I have an iMac, and I just fucking
yeah,
airdrop it. I just invested all my money in a new iMac because
I'm a
I
bitch for
needed
Apple.
a
I
better.
will
Yeah, I
say,
know, right?
I'm stuck into their
I
ecosystem.
I was like on the fence about waiting for the new Apple Silicon or whatever, but I was also like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get a new computer. If I'm like waiting for the next best thing every time,
You're
I'm
always gonna
always
be
gonna be
waiting.
waiting.
Yeah, that's what I thought
Yeah,
too. So I was like, wait, same way. I was gonna wait to the new Apple Silicon, but then I was just like, dude, I need to get work done now. And I got the 16 inch, and then
exactly.
like the 16 inch is amazing. The speakers are amazing, and then I upgraded the graphics.
Yeah,
So when I'm doing stuff like this, video editing, it goes by much smoother.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. I got the
yeah,
I don't even know what this is. I think it's the 27.5-inch newest iMac, and
yeah, I
you
would go
can
for that
upgrade the
size.
shit out of it.
Yeah, yeah,
I put extra RAM in, and you can get better fucking graphics card and shit. I think I did the graphics card with $100. You can there's like multiple options. You can fucking
yeah.
make it like no gloss on the screen for $500. Like they
Really?
blast it
Like
with
a
sand.
matte screen? Yo,
Yeah,
that's legit.
yeah.
That's what I did with
five
the
hundred bucks.
iPad. The
500
iPad,
bucks though.
you could just get a screen
Yeah, but you
protector
can just
though.
buy a sticker. Yeah, I know. But I
Yeah.
was thinking the same thing. You could just buy two of those and, and just
Yeah,
have
that's
a
what I was
fucking
saying.
like
You could just
line.
do that for the iMac screen and save $400.
No, but I mean, it's like $500. It's like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
it's like, why would you fucking? And the RAM, they overcharge on RAM so
Yeah,
much. You got to buy your own
and
RAM,
they're
and it's
soldered
like,
in. You can't even put. Well, I know for the iMac you can, but
no, not on the new
not
one. Yeah, on the
anymore.
new one they allow. Dude, I got fucking Samsung
Ah,
processors in there. I don't even know what.
dude,
I'm on 96 gigabytes of RAM that I put in, and the computer has 4 slots, and I think it was like I bought it, and it had like 8 in it, and then I moved those 8, and I bought like, oh no, I had 16 in it, and I bought two 36s.
that's awesome. Yeah, like
So
but they
whatever
don't
that
do
is,
that for
780
the
something.
MacBooks.
Or no,
Like
maybe it was two 16s, and I bought 2 more 32s. I think. Yeah, I know they don't do. But yeah, you literally can open the back and like put the RAM in. It's
that's
crazy.
all. Yeah, so at least you can save money on that. With me, I had to get the
Yeah,
fucking RAM because they solder it in
yeah,
on the fucking MacBooks. But
yeah.
I needed
On
the
the MacBook Pro.
portability because I'm
Yeah.
always
No,
moving
I'm
around.
thinking about getting a MacBook at some point. I'm just waiting for one of my brothers to break theirs or something or not need it, and then I'll be
Yeah,
like, "Yo, I'll take it," because I just needed like to project. I don't even know, like project murals or
right.
like emails on the go. Like I don't really need it for art. Like I have my art station and it's set and it's sound, and I don't like, it's not, the portable is the iPad, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I'm waiting on. I'm probably gonna get the new iPad soon. I'm just waiting on the next refresh because the one like they just came out with now is like with the AR thing. It's just like so pointless. Such a pointless
yeah.
feature, I think. But because I need a refresh. Mine has like a dead pixel on it. Like it's just
Ooh.
all bent up and everything. So eventually
Yeah,
I
I
need
gotta
a
get
new
a
one.
new nib. Somebody told me that
Yeah.
the nibs go bad after a certain point on the
If you're
pencil.
using that screen protector that makes it like paper, they wear it down pretty fast. But the box that it came in, it came with an extra one. If you still have it.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I realize that. I'm going to probably switch it out at some point.
All right, so let's get back into it. So tell me about then you did the Wacom, you got the awesome Cintiq, and
Yeah.
now what made you do the Eric Andres? Because I know he even saw it, and did he repost
Yeah.
it
So
too?
that, yeah, he did. Well, not, I mean, he reposted it like or whatever on his story or something, but
Yeah,
that was like a cool, I just sort of did that because I've always been like a fan of that show. And so I
crazy
thought it
show.
would be yeah, it's a crazy show. And so they just came out with the newest season of that. So I was like, and I saw he like reshared somebody's art that they did, and it was like not great. It was like sort of subpar. And I was like, I could make such a better piece of fan art than that. I'm gonna make a crazy animation, and it's gonna be like every season morphing into the next head. And so I spent probably like 2 days, maybe 2 3 days, just like hunkered down drawing that, making this like face morph. And so what I pretty much did was like I drew like a head base shape, and then the next, and then based on that head shape, it's just like a blank head with like a cross or whatever. And then based on that, I drew him, because like each season he had a different haircut and a different like
Yeah, yeah,
appearance. So I sort of changed how he looked, but I based it all on the same model. So that way, when it morphed from this head into the next one, it was like, it wasn't like his jaw was down here or something weird.
yeah. It all like kind of blended
Um,
in to make it look
yeah,
good.
yeah. So, but so yeah, I posted that, and I was trying to just get him to notice it and like repost it. I was trying to get Adult Swim to buy it and put it as a bumper, but that didn't happen. But so he noticed it, and he reposted it, and it was really cool. I got a ton of an
But
influx of
like
followers from
followers
that,
from
and
that's good.
yeah, and just yeah, a lot of people, a lot of positive comments on it and stuff. It was cool. And then so I didn't get paid for it. I just did it. That
Yeah,
was
it was
like
like
a
a personal
passion
project.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I like really made a lot of the inside jokes and stuff, and like key elements and stuff I knew because I've watched this show. I've like, not that I've grown up on it because it's pretty recent, but like I've seen this show. So I quote this show regularly, like to people. I have a legalized ranch hat somewhere in here. I thought I did. Maybe it's gone now. But so I was just like, I wanted him to repost it, and I wanted Adult Swim to repost it, and neither of those ended up happening. He shared it on his story, which still got me like probably 50 plus followers and like a ton of views and comments and likes. which I mean doesn't really equate to much, but it's just like a cool. So whatever, I wasn't mad about that. I was like, I
Yeah.
just did it to try and get him to see it, and he saw it, and he liked it, and he shared it. So it was, it was cool. Perfect world, he would have reached out and been like, "Yo, this is awesome! I just reached out to Adult Swim. They're gonna buy it from you and put it on air, whatever."
Perfect world. Yeah.
Obviously, perfect
That
world. Yeah,
launches
yeah,
your
yeah.
career.
Right. But so what ended up happening was it did work in my benefit because I got the next job that I got was this Busta Rhymes job. So this studio who I've done work for before, they're based in Brooklyn, or they were. Now I guess they're a virtual company because they don't have a actual
Location.
headquarters, or
Yeah.
maybe they do. Maybe they're going to get a new one or something. But as of right now, when I'm doing work for them, so they're called Cartuna, and they're out of Brooklyn, and they're pretty cool. They're awesome. They do a lot of cool stuff. But so maybe like 3-4 years ago, I made an animation and I tagged them, and they were sort of like an up and coming studio, and I tagged them, and I was like, again, just like, oh, if I make this and they like it, maybe they'll repost it. I don't care if I get paid. I'm just trying to get like in there somehow.
Yeah.
And so that's what happened. They reposted it maybe like a month after I tagged them, and then they started following me, and then like eventually, they reshared Rat City, got it a decent amount of traction. They've just like helped me out a decent amount and gotten me a few jobs. And so they saw the Eric Andre head morph thing, and they were like, "Yo, this is awesome. We want you to do this." We were commissioned by Busta Rhymes management to make. He just dropped a new album, Extinction Level Event 2, I think ELE 2, and it's like the first one came out years ago, and so
Yeah.
this new one is like, I don't know if it's the next album since that one. I think it's just the second half. Like there were other albums in
Yeah. It's
between
just
or
a new
whatever,
album, and
singles
he
or
needed
whatever.
like an animation for it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, for Spotify Canvas. So when you go on Spotify,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
like swipe
Right.
down. Yeah. So what ended up happening was his management company hired Cartuna, and Cartuna hired 3 artists to make animations for him. And so the first artist did like pixel. He did like a 8-bit. It's a guy walking, and he's like got dreads, and then it's Busta later, and he's got the sunglasses, and
Yeah.
it's like Mario 64, like old
That's
school,
cool.
like walk cycle. Yeah, cool, like pixel squarey backgrounds. And the next guy did a cool one. He's got like a barbell, and he's like fire. And they're just animated loops. They're like
Yeah.
5-second loops, 6 seconds for Spotify, that they just play with the song, so that if you don't want to look at like behind the lyrics, you could look at these animations or whatever. So the next one was this illustrator out of the UK whose name is Dan, I think Mumford. I don't know. His name on Instagram is Dan X Draws, and he does a lot of cool like soft gradient illustrator pieces. Really cool stuff. And so he had made 3 illustrations of Busta at different points in his life. And it was like, one was him like bald with the earring, like angry, and the next one was him with dreads, like crazy. And what was the third one? The third one was him with, I don't even remember. It was him with short hair again. So it's just like a
Right.
little bit of an issue of having the hair grow out and come back in. Like, how do you animate that? Whatever. But at a certain point, when you're animating so fast and something happening so quickly, if you show something here and then here in two blinks of a second, it looks like something is like falling down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It looks off.
Yeah. So I took the illustrations that this guy made and I morphed them and made an animation out of it, and it was like just the heads. He did like full body things, and I was like, they hit me up and they were like, "Can you finish this in like 2 days?" Like he animated it for the client, but they didn't like his animations. Can you animate his illustrations and do it in like 2 days? And I was like, like, I guess, like, money's money. I'll fucking get to
Yeah.
work. I cracked my knuckles, started drawing. I prioritized it. I bumped it out in 2 days, and same thing. It's just like a flawless loop of his head. And what's really cool, which I think is the coolest part about it, is so these songs were made for his newest album, right? But for some reason, I guess they didn't have a visual for his song "Break Your Neck," which is like, I think his most famous. It's like the
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah, yeah.
that's that one. And they chose the visual, that the animation I did is for that song. So if you go on Spotify and you look up
Damn, so you
"Break Your
got the
Neck,"
most popular
break
song,
your
yeah.
neck. Yeah, it's like I mean, it's like 13 million, but the song's been out for fucking 20 years or whatever.
Yeah.
So they just added that animation now. But I mean, it's just like a cool that's I do that. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's someone I listen to. I listen to already. It's not like a random
that's a
person.
cool story to tell you anybody the first time you meet him. Hey, you know that song? Yeah,
Yeah,
I did that.
yeah. It would be
So,
even doper if it was like Busta Rhymes asked me to do it. Yeah, but it's
I
still,
mean,
again, that's the ideal world.
yeah. So the last one I want to ask you about is what's with the smileys, dude? I'm seeing your
Oh
whole
yeah, the
feed is all
smileys.
smileys. What's going on with that?
Yeah. For those who aren't watching, this is a smiley. And
Okay.
so it's pretty much a smiley face, right? There's nothing special about it really, except that I added another eye and I moved the mouth up, right? Because this is I just got this from Chinatown Market. It's a
That's
dope
dope.
website.
Yeah.
But so this is a normal smiley face, right? And then this
Yeah.
is my rendition of it. So I mean, the thing that I think is cool about it is that, like, you know, obviously I didn't make up the smiley face. Actually, the guy that did just recently died, R.I.P. But you know, it's such a recognizable image, and it's so easily rip-offable, and everybody rips it off. There's a brand where there's two lightning bolts. There's a brand where it has devil ears. There's a
Right.
brand where it's smiling. Nirvana is the squiggly.
Yep.
You know what I mean? All you have to do is make one slight iteration, and you can make a whole brand off of some. Like, I don't know. I thought that idea was cool, so I was sort of like, fuck it. Like, I'll do it with three eyes. Like, stay woke, psychedelic shit, which I've always been a fan of. And I was like, maybe if I do a daily, like, post an animation every day or image every day of this, and I build up this brand, maybe it'll attract. It's just sort of like trying to experiment with social media. Like, I'm just trying to see what works, what doesn't. Like, I'm at this point, I'm like producing quantity over quality, if that makes sense. I'm
I
just
mean, but
pumping out I made these
yeah,
smileys in like 2 days. I made 60 of them, and I'm just posting them one by one, just trying to see what works, what doesn't. I don't really know if it is working. I might make my own page and just post them there on their own page, and like an investment, just see how it does in like a year. Like, queue up
dude.
like a million posts and
Yeah,
see how it
yeah.
does.
This took you
Um,
only so you did 60 in 2 days?
yeah,
That's insane,
yeah, I did
man.
most.
Because
All the ones I did in 2 days, and I probably only posted half of them.
oh my gosh, because I mean the smiley
Yeah,
faces,
there's a
but still the
ton.
textures that you use, that's like
Yeah, I know. Some of them are a lot. Yeah, some of them took more time. Some of them are just like a flat image that I did, a
yeah.
PNG. You know what I mean? Like, some of them took more work than others, definitely. But again, like, I put my all into an animation, and it gets, like, I'm not getting the amount of views that I think it should be getting. So I'm just like
It's just
trying to
that
figure out a way to
yeah.
get more eyes on it. There's like TikTok. TikTok's fucking way bigger than I thought it would ever be. After shitting on TikTok for years, I downloaded it, and I'm posting videos and animations there. Some of them do really well. Some of them do
Yeah,
dog
I'm
shit.
still trying to
It's the
like
algorithm. Who knows how
yeah,
the algorithm works? Yeah, I know.
that I
Yo,
mean it's
that
definitely
guy, I know
better
that guy
than
doesn't
Instagram.
follow
Devon?
the artist. Yeah, Javon Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Bro, I followed him the same. I don't know about the same time you followed him, but I followed him maybe a year ago, when he had like 2,000 followers, and he was posting like portrait commissions of people sitting, which are amazing. But then now he's on TikTok, and he does a daily sketch
Yeah.
of people on the train. He's at like 16 million followers on TikTok,
Yeah,
bro.
so you just see the power of TikTok. It's so much better
Yeah,
than what Instagram has become, but it's really because Instagram got bought out by Facebook, and it's all about ads with them.
yeah,
Whereas
yeah. And it's all about selling the
TikTok is
information
definitely
of
more
what you're
favorable in
trying
that
to
way.
buy.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you
TikTok's weird though because it's like, I think it was a Nathan For You sketch I watched recently, and he was like talking about TikTok. There's a new show out on HBO, and he like produced it, but he was talking about TikTok, and he was like, TikTok, the app where young children dance and young children
is
watch
that the
those
guy that
dances
like
as well as older
films?
people.
Is that the guy that just films all around New
Yeah, yeah,
York?
yeah,
I started the
yeah,
first
yeah, yeah.
episode
Well,
of that
that's
where
it's not
he's like
him, but
in
I'm talking about the
Cancun.
producer. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
You're John. How to with John.
Yeah, yeah.
John, whatever H, whatever I forget.
That's what I started
Yeah,
it.
yeah. No, no,
It's
no.
funny.
That show is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That if you've ever seen Nathan For You, that's the guy I'm talking about, and that
Okay.
show is also hilarious. He's like, it's like awkward comedy. Like he goes
Yeah,
to a
I dig that.
business and he's like, I'll make your business more profitable by, for every person you give a ride home, if you make them throw up in your car, you make them pay for the dry cleaning, you'll come out on top money wise. Like he has this like outrageous plan, and the people are like I guess, like let's try it
Yeah.
out. And I don't know. It's just like a funny. It was on Comedy Central, I think, for a couple of years.
So I'll check that out.
Oh,
So yeah, and
just hit the
then what's cool
button.
about
Sure.
TikTok as well, it's like even with me, I started with nothing, and you'll post one, and it'll probably do like 5K views, and now you got 40
Yeah.
followers from just that one
Yeah. All
post.
you have to do is hashtag FYP and hashtag
Yeah,
art.
you know, my
Yeah,
brother,
it's crazy.
my brother has 100K followers on that. He just hit,
Damn.
and he does like skit comedy, but it's like all like
Yeah.
Dominican humor, so it's doing it in everything, and he has his
Yeah, you just
thing.
got to find that niche. You find
Yeah,
that niche, and then a million other people have that niche, like exactly like you said.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I want to.
that's dope, though.
I'm still trying to figure out how I could tap into that and like,
Dude, the
cause
two ways I've seen to do it to get overnight are you got to either have one, a viral video, or two, you got to make a fucking sob story. It's got to be like the sad music, and it's like, hey guys, I've been putting out my art for months and nobody's seen
oh
it, and I really
yeah, I
need a
can't
view
do
right
that.
now.
I
I've
cannot do.
seen that, and it has like 6 million. Yeah, I know. I don't have the
Yeah,
lack of integrity to go on and do
yeah.
that
No,
shit. I'm afraid someone I follow in real life
that
is
know
gonna see
you
that and be
is
like,
like, what? You're not
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
that.
Like, bro, what? Um, like, please, anything helps right now. Like, I'm because I'm not in that situation. I just want more
Yeah,
followers so that I can sell stuff and make money. Like, I don't really. It's not like it's like sink or swim for me. Like, yet,
yeah.
at
So
least.
with you, do you want to stick to like being a freelancer, or do you want to like have that security of working for a design firm or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, freelance is cool and it has its opportunities, and I think like, if people in the future seek out like my style and ability for freelance, and it's not like me catering to them, you know what I mean, like they're seeking out just like 100% creative freedom, I think I wouldn't be opposed to doing that ever. Like, you know what I mean, if someone hits me up now or hits me up in 20 years when I have a real job,
Yeah,
like I you know what I mean, like independent stuff like that, I'll always take on stuff like that because I think it's like if they really want just like my art pure as it is, like that's awesome. I'd be willing to do that. But then sometimes it's like if it's like constant freelance or just having to do grunt work or like coloring stuff or doing just one niche thing for the rest of my life, I don't know if that's the goal I want to go into. But I don't know. Again, the main goal I'm trying to get is to just like get into a studio, an animation studio in the city. But again, at this point, I don't know. The field has sort of changed, and I don't know. I'm not like reevaluating my whole life, but I'm sort of reevaluating what the immediate path that I have to take is.
yeah. Like,
You know, as I'm sure everyone is probably doing.
Yeah,
and
it's
most
just
people would.
figuring out where you want to kind of end up, where you want to like settle in and be your thing. Like with me, I want to get into film. I want to do the posters. I want to do the
Yeah,
key art. Um, do the alt posters with all these different galleries and the steel books, and I'm just trying to navigate through that on how I can get into that.
yeah,
But
it's tough just making your way in.
yeah, and like those kind of things, it's like these are freelancers. You got to have that discipline of being your own boss, your own accountant, and all that, and just have that discipline to do the job on your own and not have someone rely on you or something. You know what I mean? Like you don't
Yeah,
have to,
yeah, no,
to
I know,
you don't have
totally.
that security to fall back on. So it's just like thinking through that and figuring that out. That's like I think that's like a lot of what different artists think about, at least for the future that I've talked to.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Yeah. So other than animation, do you have any side hustles going on like around the pandemic that you've like carried on?
Yeah, yeah. Uh, well, yeah. So I recently got into tattooing, and it's awesome. It's like something, I have a lot of tattoos, not
Yeah.
in clearly visible spots, but it's just sort of something that I've always like. It's not necessarily like an intimidating career, but it's like a lot of times tattoo artists can sort of be condescending and like sort of think that they're better, which whatever. I've had good experiences and bad, not really bad honestly, but like not great.
Yeah.
um but I don't, all the tattoos I have, I like them to some extent. But yeah, so I recently got into tattooing, and it's cool. It's like it's a different mindset, you know what I mean? Like it's like drawing with a Sharpie, but like
Permanent.
times 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. If you couldn't throw out the piece of paper,
Yeah.
if the piece of paper had a
So do
job
you
or
have
something.
a mentor or like are you at at a
No, no, no.
parlor or
So
anything?
most of the time, no, most of the time, you do an apprenticeship and you
Yeah.
work your way up. And from what I've heard, it's a lot of like, grunt work in the beginning, like getting paper towels and mopping, and like someone comes in, they're like, I want an infinity symbol on my wrist. And it's like, oh, like I don't want to do
Yeah.
that. But then again, I've also heard like different stories of that not being the case. So it's hard to say. But so from my path, I got the tattoo gun at first and I tattooed myself. I was like, I got to do myself first. Got to see if it works, if I'm good at it, if it feel and I was pretty good at it, and it came out way better than I thought. And I was like, sheesh, like I'm about to start tattooing a lot more.
Yeah.
Um, and so I posted that one, and immediately I had Matt. I mean, I've always had people that are like, when you start tattooing, you got to hit me up. Like, I need a tattoo from you. And I'm like, all right, like, yeah, at some point, they're like, you don't even have to be good. I'm like, okay, like,
Damn.
that's concerning that you think that, but
Confidence.
like, okay, like,
Yeah.
like I'll be good at a certain point. I mean, obviously, anything you do, you learn as you go. And each time you do it, you learn a little bit more. So, I can't say that the first 5 people I tattooed, I knew exactly what I was doing. I mean, I know how to be sanitary. I'm not a
Yeah.
fucking monster. I'm not spitting in their wounds. But like, you know, it's just a lot of what you have to get your license in is and I like took the class up until the point of having to get the license because I didn't want to pay for it. And it like you need to sign up and be an official artist with a studio to get the official tattoo license. So what I'm technically doing now is just sort of doing it out of my private studio,
Yeah.
which is sort of, waivers on the law. But for the most part, as long as nobody complains about their tattoo, I don't think it's gonna result in much. But
And yeah,
I'm
if you took the class of being sanitary, basically like, make
yeah,
sure
yeah, yeah. I know what I'm
everything's
doing. I mean, you wear
yeah,
it's literally like wear gloves and like use a new ink, a cup of
new
ink when you like.
needle, make sure the
Obviously, I'm not
station's
gonna
all
fucking yeah, 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 yeah,
sanitized.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, saran wrap everywhere, rubbing alcohol before you go in with the needle. Like it's pretty standard stuff. you don't want to say common sense because you know that there's some
Yeah,
people that
no, I've heard horror
fuck that up,
stories
but
where,
like,
dude, I had a guy, like one of the days I was going into school on the train, like he was just sitting in front of me. He just turns around like, "Yo, you want tattoos? You follow me." And I go to he's there, so I have to follow him on the fucking Instagram, right? Dude,
right.
and his
Yep.
shit is god awful. It's like, like, and then you see his station, nothing. Like you said, you think it's common sense, but there's people that are just doing it as
Yep.
like forcing tattoos on people and like just messing people's skin up. But I mean, it's good to know that
Yeah, no, it's
you at least
definitely,
have that class in you to like you have all the
yeah.
knowledge.
Yeah, and the only reason I haven't officially gotten the license is because it required you to put the shop that you work for. So it's like if I don't get you know what I mean? Like the first
Yeah,
step is you got to get the apprenticeship, then you apply for the license, and then you eventually become a whatever your own tattoo artist. But like it's all based on experience and like ability. So like if I'm able to tattoo well enough, and it's not at the point where if like if I go into I don't have enough people hitting me up like 5 a week to be like I want a tattoo of your Flash. Like I posted the Flash and I got probably like 10 people maybe,
yeah,
and then the next week I got like another 10 people or something, and then maybe another. I probably done like just shy of 50 total. Some of them on me, but each one I've learned a different like it's not like I would look at one and be like, oof, I fucked that one up. But each time it's like, oh, I should have gone a little bit deeper. Like that line didn't heal as dark. Like, and I tell everyone like, I'll do the touch ups and anything like for free. Just tell me when you want to do it and we'll make a time. Cause like, I'm not going to charge them more than once for one tattoo.
yeah.
Um, and then if they want to tip or whatever, that's up to them. I don't like require people to tip because that's sort of like, I don't know. There's like taboo stuff in the industry of tattooing, and it's all just like a little bit
Different for everybody.
more than
Yeah,
yeah,
but
than what I want to deal with. So
yeah,
I just try and make it like the person comfortable and just like give them like a tattoo that they're not going to be like pissed off about, like
yeah.
that
As
they
long as you
want.
got a
You know
happy
what I mean?
customer, you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and for the most part, like yeah.
do you want to like end up at a shop eventually, or is this just like a side thing that you're just
Yeah, then
experimenting
again,
with?
that's what I don't really know because it's like if you want to become a tattoo apprentice, you sort of like put your whole life into it, and then that's the path you go down, and it's sort of like you're a tattoo artist. You know what I mean? Like I don't necessarily want to be a tattoo artist. I like doing tattoos and I like getting tattoos, so I think it doesn't hurt to be able to tattoo, but I don't think I want to like every day wake up and tattoo someone. Probably
Yeah,
not. I don't have the
I mean,
drive for it like that. Like I do like every day I want to wake up and draw.
yeah,
Absolutely. But like, you know, it's like a full-time job if you're doing it at that point, which I think is like awesome. And I think a lot of tattooers I know are making fucking bank
yeah.
because they have
I have friends
a
already
dope
doing that.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can also make your own schedules. You don't have to necessarily do the like. I mean, not that it's 9 to 5.
Oh no. I know what
Yeah,
you mean. But if you're in a shop, it's you have to essentially make that shop money or they're not going to keep you there.
true.
And
Yeah,
so if I don't have people coming in for my artwork, the only way I can make that shop money is random people that come in saying, "I want a
yeah.
realistic
That and
rose on
then
my
doing
arm."
the grunt work until
Then I
you.
have to do
Yeah.
that.
So I guess
But
that's
so,
that's another
and
reason.
I guess this is like, sort of pretentious. And if you were a tattooer, I'm sure that this could be, you know, annoying, but like, I don't really want to put in that work to do that. Like, I want to tattoo my drawings. Um, and, I don't know if that comes off as condescending or
Yeah,
whatever,
it's
but
not
I
gonna
just
make
think it's
anybody
like,
happy. I'll tell you that.
yeah.
Yeah,
I just don't think, I get it. Everybody has their own path and you want to do your thing. I like cartoon, bold outline, really just like line work in general. And I like that as tattoos. Like my tattoos are that. And so like that's what I give people, and that's like what I'm doing. And what I'm worried about is that I join a shop, it will become, I'm going to have to be an all around tattooer and take up all
Nah,
these
because
tattoo. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
yeah,
just like,
but eventually, you're gonna have people gonna be coming for your stuff. You're not gonna
but
have
eventually,
to.
but it's just sort of
Yeah.
like, it's either, if I stay independent and have people coming to me for my stuff slower than me being in a shop and filling that downtime with random commission tattoos almost. You know what I mean? Like, it would be like, my heart wouldn't be in it. Like the way we're talking about
Yeah.
logos,
Yeah, like
my
it's not
heart
you're
wouldn't be in it.
passionate
And it's
about it.
different because it's not like a fucking sticker on
Yeah,
someone's notebook.
no, that's
It's
why I
on
never got
their
into it.
chest or their arm.
I don't think I
Yeah.
could handle that kind of pressure of like putting ink on somebody and then fucking up. I can't handle
Well,
that.
so but to me, it was just sort of like my one prerequisite is it's like I gotta draw it. It's got to be my drawing, and like that's pretty much it. Like as long as it's my
Yeah,
drawing, like I don't want to fucking draw Hello Kitty on you. I don't want to tattoo Hello Kitty on you. But if
yeah,
it's
yeah,
my drawing of Hello Kitty, like my version of a Hello Kitty, like not the exact thing, but like whatever, Hello Kitty with a knife or something, like something that makes it so that I will
that
enjoy it.
makes it yours.
That
Yeah,
I'm 100% down. Yeah, but like I just don't think I would be enthused on having to do like script lettering or stuff, like anything that's not what I already do is
yeah.
not what I would want to tattoo on someone. So I think I don't even want to put myself in the situation of having to be like, I don't want to do that. So I haven't gone into a shop just for that reason. And it's just sort of like, I was doing tattooing and I was really busy with it for like a month or two. And then the animations I got like a fuck ton of commissions for animations and stuff with the studio.
Yeah.
So it just sort of like overtook the tattoos. And then COVID numbers are going up and down. So I'm like, sort of like not really sure if I want people in my house. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's all up in the air right now. So I'm just sort of like, I have all the tattoo stuff. My brother's girlfriend wants one in a few days. I'll probably do that. I'll probably do one on myself in a month or two. Like, every time I get a tattoo and then I'm good for like a month. And then after a
So you
month, I'm
get
like,
that itch.
I want another tattoo.
Yeah, you get
Yeah. And
that
then I go
itch.
and I get it and I'm like, why did I fucking want this? And then I'm good
Yeah.
for a month. And then the next month I'm like, oh, maybe like,
Until your whole
and
body's all
that's the,
tatted up.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm trying to fill up eventually. I don't know how crazy or to what extent, maybe not past
Yeah, I don't know. I
my
don't know if
neck,
I'll
but I don't know.
eventually. I don't know if I'll eventually want tattoos. Like always envisioned myself having a sleeve, but it's just I don't know what yet, and
Yeah.
it's just I don't want to deal with the backlash of my family because it's just they're full
Yeah.
Catholic, against the
Yeah,
whole
my family wasn't too stoked on it. I mean,
yeah
at this point, they've sort of been like, I guess it fucking is what it is. Dillon
yeah
doesn't really listen to us. But like in the beginning, it was like, my family was like, my cousin had a tattoo and it was like, oh, I got this for that family member that died in the car crash, like to remember them, like close to
yeah
my heart. And then someone else is like, oh, I got this the time my mother died. Da, 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 da. And then they look at me and I got like clouds with lightning bolts and snakes and shit.
yeah.
And
Those
it's
are the
like, why
ones
did you?
that
I just got
yeah
them. Like I just fucking got them. Like there's no rhyme or reason. I thought it was cool, and I was like,
I
money,
want it.
give it to me,
Yeah,
put it on me.
those
Yeah.
are the ones that
And
they
at the point I'm at,
go ahead. Yeah, I'll tell you that after.
or I was just gonna say, at the point I'm at, I have enough. Like I started on my legs, and I'm almost up to my knees filled, and then I started going on like my stomach and stuff. But like, um, the first few I got, it looked weird because there weren't that many. But now I have so many that it's just like
It all kind of works. Yeah.
it's all, yeah, it all works. There's not one that's like, oh, what the fuck is that? And there's not one that's like, I mean, that's not true. There are one or two that are like, that were like $600, $700 tattoos that are like a little bit better than some of the stick and pokes next to them. But again,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't really
fun.
mind. And I think it's like a collection. It's
Yeah,
cool. I
I
fuck
mean
with
it's
them.
yours. It's your work and it's on your body, so you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, it's just funny that the tattoos with the memorials and like the heart with the mom, those are the ones that they usually be okay with. But anything else is not fair game
Yeah,
to them. It's so funny. But
yeah, no,
yeah,
it's
that's cool,
weird.
man.
But
So
yeah, so now at this point, I get one, and my mom's like, "Where'd you get? Where'd you just get the tattoo?" And I'm like, "On my chest." And she's like,
do they ever come into
"Why?"
your room while you're in
I'm
the
like,
middle of
"Oh,
doing something and you're just like,
yeah, yeah, once or twice." And they were like, I mean, in the beginning, it was just like, "Why? Like, why are you doing this? Like, like you like I can't even a lot of times someone will say I can't even choose what pair of pants I want to wear one day, and I couldn't commit on that for 2 days, and you're going to commit on this piece of art for the rest of your life." I'm like, all right, first of all, don't fucking make me second guess myself, and
yeah.
second of all, yeah, I don't fucking care, because worst comes to worst, I'll just blast something over it. Like, you can, you know what I mean? Like, it's not really permanent, because my body's not really permanent. I'm not a
And
fucking statue in
you're not doing
Columbus
like
Circle. Like,
you're not doing color right now. You're just doing line art, like the bold
yeah, I
artwork that
mean,
you're
no,
doing.
I have color. I've done color
Okay.
stuff, and I've colored stuff in black, which, I mean, I guess doesn't really count as coloring.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've done red, I've done blue. Someone hit me up to do like a rainbow where one cloud is happy and one cloud is sad.
Oh shoot.
I'm stoked to do that one. But again, it's a little bit of like, I'm about to tattoo this girl the rainbow colors. I've done 3 out of the 5 colors. The other two, I'm going to do them the same way. I know how to do the three. And then, in a month, if she comes back and one of them healed, and it just like all the ink maybe didn't stay in, like, I'll tattoo it again. And I know next time, oh, I got to go a little bit deeper on the yellow than I did on the red or
Yeah,
whatever.
yellow usually
Like,
doesn't stick as easy. Like it usually that's the
yeah,
one
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
fades, and
That's
white as
that's
well.
that's what I've heard.
Yeah,
Yeah, white turns into yellow.
something like that.
Um, I don't know. I have color on me too, one or two color things on me. So I'm like watching those heal. But again, and I tell everybody that comes to me, most of the people that have come to me have been all friends or people that I know, one or two, maybe, that are sort of estranged. But for the most part, I tell them, I'm like, yo, like, I'm like not a professional. I'm trying my best. Like, I'll
Yeah,
show you what I've done. I did them on myself. I'll show you my Instagram. Like, I think I do pretty clean line work. I don't have really any blowouts or anything. I'm like trying, I don't know the longevity of them yet because I just started. Um, and I'm not as fast as someone that's been doing it. Like, I'm taking my time with it. Whatever. There's like a whole bunch of things that I like just try and prepare them. And you got to tell them how to take care of the tattoo,
yeah,
all of this stuff that you're just like, it's all a lot of table, bedside manner, because you don't want to be a dick. You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And it's just like, a lot of things to take in. It's cool though. It's awesome. It's literally like, I say it's like a high stakes drawing, because it's literally like,
You get that adrenaline rush while
I
you're
learned,
working.
not really, more at the end. You look at the end and you're like, I mean that's the completion rush more than the adrenaline.
Yeah,
Like, because like when you're doing a painting, it's like 80-90% there, and you're like, this looks like shit. What the fuck am I doing? And then you like round that corner, and
yep,
you're like, it's there. It's
yeah,
fucking there. Oh, that looks so good. I'm done. Put it down. I'm done. I don't want to go anymore. Like that. I've gotten that every single time I do it. I'm like, are you wiping? You're like, ooh, like shit. And be like, damn, that looks good. Um, yeah, like, I don't know, that feeling. I'll always get that though. Even when I paint stuff, or even when I make an anime, sometimes I make like an animation and I think it's so funny, and I'm just like sitting in my fucking office laughing at something I drew on my computer.
that's
Like,
awesome, man.
you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
probably not that funny in reality, but it is. I don't know, to me.
yeah. So then with so we're at the last two questions. I just want to have one more question, and then we're gonna get
Yeah.
right into movies. So, as a final thing, what kind of advice would you give someone trying to get into animation?
The main thing I'd say for animation and trying to get into animation is do it. Just get into it. Start drawing. It starts with drawing, and drawing starts with you and a pencil or a pen or a Sharpie, whatever. Draw on a sketchbook. Not all my drawings are fucking great. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm literally like behind my computer. I have this many sketchbooks, and they're all this thin. and it's been from the last 5 years. It's like a library. I like chronologically
That's
ordered
cool.
them, but I literally, yeah, and it is sort of cool. Sometimes I look through it, but I keep them there because sometimes I'm looking for inspiration or whatever. Oh, where'd that drawing go or whatever. Especially now with the tattoos, people come in and I'm like, look through them. Any of those can be flash. Anything you see in there, I'll redraw it and tattoo it. So it's cool. And it's just cool to see, like, I flipped to a random 2016 sketchbook to a random page and I'm like, I remember exactly where I was and what I was thinking when I drew this.
Yeah,
Like, I don't remember drawing it, but I remember the
it's like a
memory of
photo
it. You know what
album,
I mean? I
man.
don't know.
You were. It's like when you're looking
Yeah.
at old photos of yourself, you kind of remember where you were, what you were doing that day or whatever. And yeah, I
So I would
think
say anybody trying to get into animation, you better be drawing every day or you better start drawing every
yeah,
day.
like that's what
That's
something
all
I
I would say.
heard from animation too is like you gotta have stacks of completed sketchbooks of just drawings, man, because that's all you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the more you do something, the better you get at it.
Yeah, it's like
Anything in life,
anything. Yeah,
anything in life. So, it's just a matter of overcoming the self-doubt of you drawing something and going, this doesn't look like this guy that I follow on Instagram who can draw well. Obviously, it's not going to fucking look like him. Like, you're your own person.
yeah,
You're doing your own thing. Like, take influence from them, take advice from them, do what you want. But at the end of the day, like, you're on your own route. Like, I don't know. It's, I would say you don't necessarily need to go to school. Some of the best animators I follow, I don't think went to school. Some of the best animators I follow use some of the worst programs. I hate Flash, Adobe Flash. I don't love it. But some of my favorite animators use Adobe Flash. That doesn't mean it's shit. That doesn't mean it's great. It works for them. You know what I mean? Like, I can't tell you what's going to work for you, just like how someone can't tell me what's going to work for me. Like, I'm
yeah.
figuring out my own way. But I would say the best advice is just to be like, if drawing is like, oh, I got to draw something, like, don't fucking be an animator.
Yeah.
All I'm doing is drawing. All I'm
That's
doing
how I
is
am
hunched
with
over on
anything
my
graphic
settee.
design. I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah.
So I know I'm not a graphic designer, even though I have to fucking
exactly.
learn it when I'm in, especially since I'm doing like posters and shit. I have to learn it. But that's along the lines that I think I would agree on that people should do, especially for animation. It kind of coincides with just illustration too. Just you got to keep
Just
drawing.
art in general.
Yeah.
Just like keep the creative juices flowing. I think, with the animation itself, this is, I brought this up at one point and then I forgot to touch back on it, but there's like 12 rules or principles of animation, and they're based on these 7 old men that used to work for Disney, or maybe it's 9. I don't know. There were a bunch of old white guys that worked for Disney, Walt Disney, and they sort of pioneered 2D animation, right? And 2D animation at the time was a drawing pad, and you would draw, flip, and then by flipping it fast, you get like a post-it note.
Yeah.
Like what we were talking about before, frames per second. So these old men made these rules, and I'm an animator. I don't know every word and every rule word for word off the top of my head, but I know what the principles look like, and I know at this point at one point I didn't know them. It's like the first one is squash and stretch. So like if you have a ball and the ball goes up, I have a ball somewhere.
Yeah, like that classic animation. You go
you have
up
a ball.
and then
up,
once it goes on the floor, down, it squishes. Yeah.
And then it bounces back up. So that squish illusion gives it the weight.
I used to do that all the time.
So that's
in high school when I would have just like post-it notes, the whole fresh pack. I'll just do that in every one, and then just keep it.
I still do it sometimes.
Yeah,
that's actually the coolest part about this book. Let me just get the book now. Is oh my god, it's so heavy.
Jesus.
Is that the corners are like literally a flip book. So like if I were to do that, I'm like not flipping it right, but you see what I mean?
Yeah, like it's all like made into that
one frame. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's cool.
You just like flip it really quick. So this is how they used to do it. It would be draw, Oh, now I see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
This book
yeah.
is dope. I haven't even finished it. It's so fucking big. I'm like
That's
halfway.
that's even a good just to have like on the coffee table kind of thing.
Yeah, break the goddamn coffee table. It's so heavy, but yeah.
All right, so
But yeah, so there's I'm not gonna go over every single rule,
yeah,
but there's a lot of them, and then like those 12 rules all together in equal balance in a way make what we perceive as animation. And really what animation is just drawings that mimic life and the movement of life. So, I'm not creating a bird that's flying. I'm mimicking how a
yeah,
bird flies visually. Like it's like a weird thing to wrap your mind around, but yeah.
it's definitely something to learn, especially if you're going into it. But yeah, they could. I mean, I'll put it on here like a whole list or something of just the rules or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you literally look up 12 principles of animation, and it's like each
yeah,
one has a drawing. It's like squash and stretch, overlap, um, anticipation, movement, secondary movement. Like it's just like
yeah. It's just all different.
some
Yeah,
of
I
it
get
is
you.
hard to illustrate, some of it makes sense. But so what I did for school was they made us do a project for each principle. So a lot of times they make you draw a ball bouncing for squash and stretch because it's the easiest. So I did that. But what I did was for each project, I made it something I would want to do and put in my portfolio. So instead of just a shitty ball bouncing, I made it like an eyeball bouncing, right? Just so like
Yeah,
I could use this lesson. It wasn't just like a fucking lesson file on my computer. I delete it when I'm done.
you
It's
could
just a
actually
blank
use
ball.
it on your
Like
portfolio
I
and
could
stuff.
actually use it because it's like it fits my aesthetic and I thought it
Yeah,
was cool. So I tried to do that for every project. And some of them are in like my reels, like a reel I did a year ago or an animation reel I did this
yeah,
year. Like they might be in there. Some of them I don't think I did. They didn't turn out that great. But like for the most part, a lot of it, you do it once and then you remember that principle and then like you incorporate it in the next one. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it.
all right, so last question. What's your favorite movies?
My favorite movies. My top three favorite movies are all animated
Of
and they're
course, makes
all
sense.
different types. They're all yeah, I know, right? And they're all different types of animations. The first one is Miyazaki film called Spirited Away.
Oh
And
yeah,
I grew up with this movie. I We had a like a minivan with a TV in the middle. It was like a shitty DVD thing in the middle, or VHS. It was a VHS thing.
that suburb car.
Um, yeah, yeah, exactly, minivan. Um, and one of the and my uncle gave us like this pirated version of Spirited Away. But so I grew up with it. It was
Yeah,
like, and
yeah,
it's like a creepy movie. It's really not for kids. I mean, sort of is, but it's like the little girls and her parents enter this like ghost realm by going through this gateway, and like the ghosts come out at night and her parents turn into these pigs, and like the ghosts, and like she's a slave unless she like goes
yeah.
on this
No, I know. I
adventure, and
remember it
there's
being
it's
wacky
like
for
so
sure.
fucking complicated,
Yeah,
but it's like it's so beautifully done. All of Miyazaki's films are beautifully done, but that one is my number one just because it has like a little bit of nostalgia.
yeah.
Princess Mononoke is pretty good too. And then I think my second favorite, I would say, is probably Nightmare Before Christmas, which is another movie I just grew up on. I watched it probably every October and every December. I thought it was so
It's a
cool.
classic for
And
sure. Yeah.
that is a stop motion film, and that's crazy. So every time he talks, they like pop out his head, pop on a new head, and it's like every
Oh,
hand it
dude.
has a wire in it. It's crazy. The sets are like as big as this room,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they
That
like
I know. Like, for
it's like so cool.
one of my favorites is Isle of Dog, or Isle of Dogs.
Oh my god, yeah, Wes Anderson. I have a
Yeah,
poster of that somewhere in here. I went to the premiere. Yeah, that's a great one too.
dude.
A
Yeah,
little creepy stop
yeah.
motion.
But
The
it is
Fox one,
awesome.
the Fantastic Fox was good too.
That
That
one,
Wes
and
Anderson
then
directed
what's the other one with
in stop motion.
starts with a K?
Bill
Kud.
Bill Plimpton. Oh, what
No,
are you talking about?
it's a little girl. I think it starts with a K.
Oh,
Kudos.
oh, Kubo and the Two Strings.
That one. That
Kubo
was
and the Two
another good
Strings.
one. Yeah, I really enjoyed that one.
That's Leica. That's Leica Studio, and they did Coraline, and they did other films like that. They're awesome. They're out of Portland, Oregon. They're a really, really great studio. They did Box Trolls too. The Missing Link one that just came out. They're all good.
Yeah.
Anytime an animation movie comes out, I
You're the first one there.
Like,
Yeah.
Even fucking Frozen and Frozen 2.
Listen, man,
them.
Frozen, yeah. It's
like,
a good time.
I'm there and I'm looking at like the fucking snow flying by the screen, and I'm like, that is, the amount of detail is amazing. Like, I'm not listening, let it go. Like, I don't give a shit about
you're
that.
there for the
I don't
art.
give a shit about snowmen or whatever. I'm there for the CGI rendering and like whatever. Like, that stuff is, I don't know, whatever. I remember my brother was like clowning me because he saw me watching Frozen, and I was like, I'm doing research. Shut the door. Like, but yeah, you know, that stop motion is incredibly difficult. I've dabbled in it a little bit, and that movie is really cool to me too. And then my third top favorite, I'd say, is probably Finding Nemo, and that is again just like another animated. That one's 3D and it's by Pixar, and again, I just sort of grew up with it. It was one of my favorite movies. I watched it probably a million times. I like knew half the lines. It just like, I could watch it now and I still love it.
How'd you feel about Finding Dory?
I wasn't a fan.
Not the same. It was
I thought
it
was a lot of it like harped. It was so depressing. It harped on like her bipolar and her like abandonment issues for the majority of the
Pixar
film.
Man. They kill off the parents. They're always doing something.
Yeah, every time.
Dude,
like, stab that knife in and then turn it.
Oh my god!
No, I thought Finding Dory the octopus was dope.
Yeah,
Up is sad. Up's a sad one too. I had a professor who actually showed us the beginning scene of Up every class. He was like, because he was trying to show us visual storytelling, and it was like a storyboarding class, and he was like, no film does a better example of telling a full sad, deep, rich story such as Up without any words. There's no words.
Yeah.
You know, whatever that.
Yeah, now TikTok uses that song all the time.
Yeah. Hey guys, I really could use the follow. That's like exactly comes back to that.
Yeah.
But he would show this fucking the beginning of Up every time, and dude, I literally got desensitized to it. I've seen.
Oh man, that sucks.
Probably 17 times, and now I'm like, yup, abortion or whatever, miscarriage. Yup. Yep, she's in the hospital. She tripped up the hill. She's dead. Like handprints on the mailbox is Rusty. Like, I knew every beat.
Yeah.
It ruined it.
That sucks that he ruined that for you.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't get it though. I don't think he understood. He was like trying to teach us or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think he got that we were all just like joking and like, yeah, we've seen Up. Like, do something else.
All right, man. I got what I was curious about with you. Dude, this is the longest podcast so far. We're about to hit 2 hours and a half.
10:30.
Oof. But
do you edit these?
Nah, man. This is just, I like to just keep it going. You know, like, I think it's important.
I saw the other ones were pretty long.
Yeah,
and I watched most of them, but I didn't know if you like clipped out anything.
Nah, I think it's important to be authentic, you know. Don't cut anything out, you know. Just show the how real people are, you know. So I again appreciate you coming in, telling everybody about animation. I was very curious about the smileys and all the different animations, man. Super cool that you got into it, and it's very informative for everybody to, you know, have them know how you got into it and how you're getting these jobs, because I think that's very helpful. But appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Anybody
it was a lot of fun.
Any questions or need any animations or anything? Hit me up. You could put my website or my Instagram or something.
Someone right there. I'm gonna do an intro for it. I've been doing intros for all the videos now too, so I'll put all your info in the beginning as well. All right, buddy. Dope. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
All right, man.
Thank you, bro. I had a great time.
Of course.
Good night, buddy.